That's why I said close your eye. What do you see? Even as a director, even as a cinematographer, even as a camera operator, it is what you see with your eye that you want to transfer that imaging to what? To the camera and record it or stream live it. That's why sometimes you can have 3 directors, 3 cinematographers looking at the same picture, but they are seeing different things. They have the same equipment, they are seeing different things with lighting. I want to light it this way. I don't know if any of you have been on set before or in a production room. You see people arguing. Let's take it from this angle. Let's take it from that angle. Or people shooting content with phone. Because you are all looking at the same thing, but you are looking at it differently. So majorly cinematography, the art of cinematography, capturing thing is you capturing moments or scenes with light. And that's why the first example is, or the first part I'll talk about before camera handling is lighting itself. So about lighting, do you wonder or do you ask yourself why, even if we turn off these old lights here, can someone help with that? If we turn off the floodlights here, you can still see. And your question is, why do we still need light? I want this to be engaging, please. Why do you think we need light? No, not you again. No. Let's make it engaging, please. And the teenagers here, please feel free to ask questions. I told you I was exposed to media as a teenager. So the teenagers here, feel free to engage as well. So we can see that there is light out in all these parts, right? So only the pulpit, right, has light. So what do we see in this part? Okay, now there's light out. What do we see in this part? Let's be honest. It's not dark. It's what? It said dim, right? But can you see me? But why do we need light to capture well for the camera? What? Okay, now, the practice has started. Those of you with phones, bring out your phones. Those of you with phones, bring out your phones. If your phone has camera, just point your camera to me here. Ayo, I'm not a politician, though. Why are you showing me a picture? Maybe websites, works, or different things, but no. So, are you with your phone, your camera now? All right. Don't worry. See, it's not about the gadget you own. It is about how you use it. So, I can see some people holding their cameras and nah. Just point your camera to me. So, if I'm actually dark, or the scenery you can see is dark on your phone, most of you, if you click on the screen and you push it up, it gets brightens, right? Now do that. Some phones is pushing it up, some phone is pushing it to the right, depending on either it's Samsung, iPhone, and the likes. Is it brighter now? Now, if you look closely, but the disadvantage there is because our phone is a small screen. If you look closely when it's bright, you will tell that the picture won't be clear enough. There will be grains. Do you understand? There will be grains. For some of you who have good lenses, you might not see it easily, but it's until maybe you start working on it, editing, you had more effects, you now start seeing the grains. That is why we need light. That is why you be indoor, they'll turn on the room light, the ambience light, yet they'll still add more light. And this is going to take us to, AY, sorry, is there board or marker? So I feel the way I'll take the training, I'm going to mix different parts. I'm not going to follow in that order, because now, with what I'm talking about, I want to go into exposure triangle. Because at the end of this, it's not just about you knowing how to use. You can turn on all the lights now, thank you. It's not just about you knowing how to use the camera alone, but also knowing how to use your mobile phone to take good content. Went for a training that was this month, May 3rd, in Abuja, and most of the facilitators that I had called were people that I had trained before. And when I heard from one of the guys, he shoots with his phone. He went to serve in Abuja, and from serving, he realized that a lot of people required content creators. From serving, he gathered enough money, he had a house. He gathered enough money, he's mobile, he has his car. From what? Making content with his phone. I'm not doing any make-believe or anything. His Instagram is Motion Studios. His name is Sean. You can ask him. You still see pictures of the training we did at Samde Creators Workshop 201 at Abuja. So I'm using real life experiences, and my own story is one of it. I'm not anywhere yet. I'm still going on the journey, but it's media that has brought me this far. The things that I've acquired is through media. Either through media consultancy, media training, media jobs, production, and the likes. You'll be surprised how much people charge for this, even for mobile content creation. But it's beyond the gadgets. It's beyond, if someone helps you with a camera now, if someone helps you with an iPhone 17 or a Samsung S24, S25, what is it that you carry internally that you want to put into this skill? And these are the things we are talking about. There is one school that is available to everybody. That's why I said this is just a foundation. And that school is YouTube, going online, right? And thankfully we ChatGPT, right? But the real truth there is, what will push you further is people experiences and mistakes. And that's why I'm saying mine. I'm using mine also to teach you. So lighting is very crucial. We've done setup for a church before, and they were willing to drop money for a lot of equipment. And when I just look at the church, I told them, I said, we need lights for this. They're like, can we manage on that? But let's get the camera. And I was looking at the cost of the camera to what this thing will not bring out the best quality, but they don't understand it. But instead of me moving forward with that, I'm so sorry to stress you, ma'am. You can rest it here. You have like a extra or something. I guess this is permanent matter. Okay. I'll see. All right. So, part of the things, or where we are right now, is lighting. So now that all these lights are on, I want to tell you how all of these lights come to play. You go to a bigger, or if I were to consult about this space now, or you go to a bigger church, or maybe your headquarters, you will realize that in most of these churches, please, look here please, you realize that in most of these churches, close to the stage, or close to the pulpit, what will you notice there? You notice that there are lights, again, close that are focused. Do you understand? That's why most times, that is mostly the brightest part of the church. It's intentional, it's away from decoration. And their positioning is strategic. And that's what we'll do now, maybe with our mobile phones, and we'll do practical. So the positioning of light. And I'll start with 3 points. No, it's permanent. I'll just manage this. It's permanent marker that was used on it. So can we have someone, can I have you here, please? What's the name, please? Rebecca. Okay, please come. Please, if you're in media or if you're in media, feel free to, don't be timid, be shy. All right, so you can stand and face. What's the name, please? Ebuka. All right, please stand. Can you turn on your phone touch? Rebecca, is that your phone? Can you turn on your touch? All right. Okay. So I want you guys to pay attention here. The only difference here is when you are now using bigger, what's it called? Bigger lights or bigger camera. So the demonstration I want to do for you is 3 points lighting. And in most cases, regardless of the production, this is the basic of lighting that we do. Sometimes we may now tweak it, but this is the basic of lighting. So this is the flat light you see here. This is ambience light. So any lights that you cannot control in production, are you listening? So, I mentioned that if you go to big churches or big production, you will see lights closer to the stage or even in National Theatre and all. But what's the difference with those lights and the lights you have at home? Some of you, the lights you have at home is very bright, right? But what do you think is the difference? Please, let's engage. Yes, please. He said they are not much. Like, that means the intensity, right? He's right. One. There's another reason. They are positioned strategically. Yes. Two. Good. Another one. So the third one is because, are you listening? The third one is because you can control the lights. So any light that you can control is good for production. Are you listening to me? Example, some of you have ring lights, right? Can you control the intensity of ring light? No, yes, you can control it now. Don't look at it because it's cheap. You can control the intensity, right? How low it can be, how high it can be. It has the fluorescent side. It has the night side. That's the one that is very warm, right? That's why you still see content creators or people still shoot with this ring light or this pocket or this small rectangular light. You can control it, right? So in production, the kind of lights that you should use, that is advisable to use, is lights that you can what? Control. Regardless of the budget, the first thing is lights that you can control. Are you with me? So now the question you should ask is why? Why do you think it's lights that you can control? I want us to think, I want us to engage. Why? I'm sorry I'm keeping you standing up. I'm sorry, please. Why? Why do you think it's lights that we can control? Because you can adjust. Yes, that's what we mean by control. But why do you think we must use lights that we can control? So that it will not be too bright or too low, yes, fine. So you can control the intensity. But why do you really think? I want us to think away from me standing in front of you. You are close to it, depending on the area you want to make use of it, right? But still, why? You are close to it. I'll tell you the why, so that when you are saying things out there about media, you can defend it. To get the exact image you want in any situation. Now, let me explain that. You can see the light we have here, right? Right? You can see the light we have here. Now, if I put this practical light on her like this, you can see the effect on her. Now, if we enter, let's say, the control room, we don't have this light there. If I put this same light, it will still reflect. But the real truth there is the intensity on our skin will be different, depending on the amount of light that is inside. Because this light too also has effects on her, on what you see. So that's why we use lights that we can control. And on professional sets or anything, we'll first turn off all the lights. And we'll use the light that we can control. So let's say if this is a controllable light, some of you have all those small monitor lights. When you put it on someone or a ring light, is there a ring light here? Or maybe another thing I could have asked is people that have lights or anything could have bring it. So because just for practical engagement. So now, you know, when you even control your ring light, are you listening? You know when you control your ring light, even as small as it is, you know it has different percentage. You can see 90%, 50%. So that means if I put the light on her now and it's on 50% and we get good quality here, let's say she's a minister or she's an evangelist and she's using that one for ministration. So if we travel from here and we go to Delta and we want to replicate the same image using the same camera and the same light, if it's 50% here, that's the same thing I'll take over there as long as I have the light turned off. Are you with me? Because I know that the only lights I'm using is the ones that I can what? I can control. And that's why when making movies, sometimes, most times even when making movies or commercial, we don't use any ambience lights that we cannot control. All the lights we have to use is lights that you can control. All those lights you see on sets, why they are using it is because it can be what? Controlled. Even when you go to stage, when you go to National Theatre and the likes, when you look at it, you see some guys at the corner. They are also controlling lights. They are dimming it, they are turning it off, they know the percentage it is. So when they take that stage performance or that theater performance to UK, they'll give you the same feel of lighting. If they take it back, they take it to Kano, that will give you the same feel. Are you guys with me? So now on 3-point positioning, what do you do with lights? The first, when you use the first light, we mostly refer it to as main light. I'm just using phone for practical sake. So this is your main light, the key light. Now look at her, please. I want you to study, because where most people miss it, and I don't want you to be such creators, they think, oh, the camera will do magic or editing will do magic. It has its level of influence. But what really matters, what will make you a pro, is you yourself, the art, what you know about the skill, and how well you get it right on set. How well you get it right while you shoot. That's what will determine how good the export or the product will be. It's just like cooking a meal, right? Most times for production person, we say we are cooking something. And that's why we use the word we are cooking something. It is what you put into a meal. If you don't put snail into a soup, can you see snail when you are eating it? If you don't put vegetables into a soup, can you see vegetables when you are eating it? No. So when you put efficient or adequate lighting into it, that's when you get good. It's what you put into it, that's what you get. Although editing can enhance something, but it's best you get it right while shooting. So if this serves as the main light, hold on please. So can you look at the random light we have here, right? So I put this now as the main light. Now look at the positioning of the light. Why do you think I don't do the light this way? This is a small light though. The bigger it is, the more you see the effect. Why do you think I don't do the light this way? I need response. Please, let's engage. Pass the mic round. I want you to be engaging. Let's engage. Pass the mic round. You can pass the mic. I want you to be engaging. It's when you are engaging, that's when we're all focused in the same line of thought. Yeah. Hello. All right.
You focus it on that angle so that you can get.
All right. So listen, please. Can you guys hear me? Just pay attention. So you said what? I focus it on this angle.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the angle. Why is my level this way?
A height.
A height
And a face.
and a face. So is this right?
No.
So what's the right way? I should go up
No.
and closer,
Yes.
or like this. I should not be closer.
No.
Up,
Not too much.
not too much.
Then closer to it.
Then closer. All right. So listen, please.
Hello.
Different modes of lighting. This can be right, depending on the age of the person. But there's a reason why most times when position lighting or when you see lighting
Hello.
in films and all of that, why it is above the person. Do you know why? So typically when you have the light like this, look at her shoulder. What can you see? Shadows. Are you guys with me? So when you put it above, look at this same hand side. Without my hand, there. Look at my hand. Can you see the hand? Can you see shadow? Now I'm taking it off. Can you see? What that does is taking it above or putting the light above. What it does is it pushes the shadow to the ground. I'm not just teaching you, I want you to know why. So when you are interacting with people outside, you can explain, you can. Are you with me? So now, is a standard. Yeah, this is a standard. Okay, they are using this now. Oh, fine. All right. So this is a standard lighting process.
Yes.
So that's fine, sir. But now, for you to separate your, what's it called? Ayo, turn off the other mic. We can hear you. So for you now to, what's it called? To separate this person from the background, you can now use a backlight. Who has another kind of touch? Or phone touch? Okay, let me have that light, please. The battery. Are you looking for battery? If there's a way we could plug. So I just want you to see the impact of lighting and the positioning. Now put that light down. If I do this way, what do you see? You can see shadows around this, but sometimes it depends on what you want to tell, the story you want to tell. It might be cinematic that this is what you want to what's it called? This is what you want to show. Just like sometimes you see people chatting on their phone in some Hollywood movies or in some commercials, and you see the lights reflecting on them. It's not the real light from your phone, because the camera will not see it. It's another light that has been infused on top of that phone to reflect on the person's face, especially when you see like dark rooms or dark offices. You see people in front of laptop, right, or system, and you see the lights right in their face. For some of you who see maybe action movies or the likes, or gaming movies. So can you now see that lighting itself is the art of capturing, because it is what you tell with your light. That's what the audience will feel. So the third one is now backlight. And you can position the backlight this way, but the major thing professionally is ensure the light is out of the picture in your framing. So can you see, now, when I do the lights this way, let me get my phone or another phone. Hold on, please. Okay. All right, so you can put the light on now. So we have the main light, right? We have the few lights. Now, you can see what this does to our hair or to the rim. It's just subtle. It is very soft. But it separates, when you see from the camera, it will separate this person from the background. It makes the picture looks rich. We'll do all of this too in practical sessions. It makes the picture looks rich. You will have practical sessions, and that's why I'm explaining this. Now, you can go sit, please. Okay, or before you go sit, let me have your phone. You can go sit. You have been standing for a while, so Ebuka, come. Another thing I want to mention about production is most people miss the fact that, and I want you to understand this, most people miss the fact that there are different types of production, and you should get different types of lighting. Are you with me? Now, for some of you here, I know some of you or most of you have not decided, and I know some of you are already into media skills and all of that. If you go into media, what part of media or what kind of videos would you want to shoot? Yes, Rebecca, right? Ebuka. So you see, I'm guessing. So what part of, if you go into what part of? If you go into media, what kind of videos do you want to shoot? Just what? No, there's not just videos. Videos are into different categories. When a client comes to me for video production, I have my own niche. I only do corporate and social documentary. But the real truth there is I can do every other thing. But it's also good when you have a niche. It is easier for people to engage you. It is easier for people to call on you. They'll be like, oh, this guy, when it comes to music video, he's good. When it comes to adverts, he's good. I focus on corporate videos and social documentaries. So I know some of you are still thinking, but if you tell what kind of video do you think you shoot? What? Cinematic video, so more like films, short films, and the likes, right? Although cinematic, you can apply cinematic to anything, though, but we'll get there. All right, what kind of video? What's the name, please? What's the name, sir? Mr. Daniel, right? What's the name? Mr. Adebade, Ademilade, Mr. Ademilade. What kind of videos would you like to shoot? Advertisements, right? Commercials, good. What kind of videos would you like to shoot? Huh? Cinematic video, like films and the like. Okay, good. Content, what kind of content? I'm sorry, Ebuka, you're still standing. What do you say? Funny, so like comics, majorly. Okay, all right. Cinema content, okay. Commercial, okay. Comedy, comics, good. Commercials, okay. Animation, about you. Yes. What is it event you wanted to say? For real, okay. Events. Content, what kind of content? Vlogs, okay. What about you? What kind of content? Comics. Podcast, interesting. Variety. Films, short films and the likes are. Corporate videos, good. Commercials, okay, still on the corporate. Commercials. Commercials, why? Short reels. Short reels. Shorts, good. Comics. Content. Cinema videos or cinema content. Short films, cinema content. Commercials, short films. So for most of you saying commercials, what kind of commercials? Or what do you know so much about commercials? Because it's commercial doesn't mean that other niche doesn't have money. That's the funniest part. Although I'm not trying to lure you into the part that has money or the part that doesn't have money. One thing I can tell you, and I can say that, and that's why I said I'm talking from experience and from personal stories and mistakes as well. At any point, for some of you who want to delve into media, let me be honest with you, at some point, you might get frustrated. Especially when you don't pick a niche or when you pick a niche early enough. You can pick a niche in events and later you're like, oh, it seems this guy shooting music video or commercials is making more money. Everything is timing and the grace. And thank God that as Christians, we are prayerful. Some people just focus on events. Commercials, yes, you might get the big gigs of millions of naira to work on a project. But the real truth there is, I'm not discouraging, I'm just giving you the dynamics of different. The real truth there is, on commercials too, as you're getting the millions, to execute it, you're going to spend what? Millions. And sometimes people just overlook like events or the likes. And events, you are not spending anything. Maybe you just transport for you to just get there. And that person has charged 100 to 200. And the person in 1 week has like 3 to 4 events. Although it doesn't happen like that repeatedly. But passively, the person might be making millions in a month. And you that, maybe I'll say this off camera, but they are recording, and we can cut that part out. Are you guys, are you live streaming? Oh, okay. For those who might want to reference, I'll just say it. But you don't know the job. The real truth there is, we've been paid millions for different projects, and at the end of the day, what is left is not even up to 100,000. Because you want to execute the job so well. So one thing, why I'm saying this is, as much as there is the need to sustain money, but ensure that quality is worthy of your watchword. If you do something good, a client might come back and engage you or refer you. Yes, social media promotion, digital marketing works, but the one that works best since the time of creation till now is what? Word of mouth. Word of mouth. So please, as much as sustaining money is also a goal, ensure that quality is your watchword. And that is why we have this training. That's why I'm showing you different things about lighting. So moving on, for corporate videos majorly, one thing you should ensure for corporate videos, one thing you should ensure while shooting most corporate videos like testimonials, interviews, is that most corporate brands, they want their production to be lit, properly lit. Where if you have the big lights, just ensure that it is properly lit. And most times, in production these days, you can have this, and you can help Ebuka with his phone. So, you can see we have this light here, right? If it's just this light, one light I have, because sometimes you might not be open to getting 3 lights. If it's just this light I have, and that's why most times in production we use C-stand. That's a stand that can curve, it comes this way and also comes. If it's just one light that I have, what I'll do is I'll ensure that it's soft, and you can look at everyone. You can tell that which side is darker. This side, right? If it's for corporate videos, they don't like things that are too cinematic. What they will tell you when their guys are watching it is, the video is dark, oh. That's what corporate CEOs, to them is dark. They just want something that is very lit. So if I'm using one light, what I'll do is, I'll advise you to get a C-stand, and you ensure that this thing is over the person's head, and it's towards the middle. You can look at the congregation. And I will ensure that this plank is not holding well. So I will ensure that this thing is more like to the middle. So that way you have the middle of the face here properly lit. And what you have here or here will be balanced. Now, this is another thing about positioning lights. And this thing, I'm telling you guys for free because a lot of professionals still make the mistake. When positioning lighting, and I mean a lot of professionals make the mistake. Because I want to light his face. Are you guys listening? Please, don't make this mistake. Because I want to light the face, don't touch on any subject. If you want to light anybody, don't what? Touch. What do I mean by touch? It's not necessary or it's so wrong that your light, even though it's the side I want to light, is, you can see the light here, right? Thank you. All right. You can see the light here, right? This is the side I want. But where is the light? The light is at this side. It is wrong. Your light should be at the edge. Mine does even being above, at the edge. So people touch like you put the light directly on the person's face. No. So look at this. I'm sorry, you can sit down. You can sit down, Ebuka. So I'm here. Let's say we have 2 lights and this thing is above. If you want to position someone, people will tell the person to walk into the light like this. You know the light now is hitting on me like this. No. You should be at the edge of the light like this. Please, do you get that? Even if it's overboard too. And I'm just trying to put a whole lot into this training. But lighting is on people's department. And these are the things they will defend. So even though it's going to be like overboard, we call it butterfly in position. But I don't want to say a lot of, that's why I'm making it basic. I don't want to say a lot of technical words. So instead of this way, look at this, please. No, let it be over, like butterfly, like this. So don't position, you can still raise it up. Don't position the person to be under the light like this. But people think, oh, you are really into the light. No, put the person at the edge of that light. Can you see the difference? Even with what lighting. So you don't enter the light. That's why I say you don't touch on the person. You put the person at the what? Edge of the light. The light spreads. It's just like the way you talk. It moves this way. It spreads to the room. So the light also spreads. So what you can do instead like this is you can tilt it. Can you see? But you make sure it's at the edge. I'm sure that you can see the difference between this and tilting. It's spreading more. So these are the things you should look out for lighting. But this is because this is one light. So if we do that for this, and we do that for another, what's it called? With another light, and we separate the back, we're already having good lighting already. Then we can now start talking about the camera handles and camera positionings, framings. So for that, I would want us to project. Can we project? I want someone to show me framing from the camera. Like I said, I want it to be practical, so we are seeing things. Any questions so far? Ma and Sir, I'm sorry, I want to ask for one thing. Being that we've had breakfast, and the way I'm taking the classes, I'm mixing everything together so that they understand better. Can we still extend my first time to like maybe 20 minutes? Okay, all right. Because I'm mixing, instead of having 3 classes, there's tendency I might just have 2 classes, so I'm mixing it. All right, so I'll join this with the second class. Thank you, Ma. So I want them to project what any of the camera is seeing so that we can use that one to engage. Now I want to talk about framing. We've talked about light. I want to talk about framing. Yeah, questions? Please sit. Sit. Just ask a question. Tell me your name. Let me use that to know you too when you ask questions. Toby, thank you. Yes, yes. Okay, he said there is orange light and there is white light. Which one do I think that is best? Thank you for that question. See, that's why I say you can't learn everything in one day. If you have questions, ask me. This is what you are saying. So you can see this warm light here, right? And you can see this. This is what it's saying. So we have the nights, we call it night time, and we have daylight. Just like when you look outside, when you look at the sky, this is the color it gives you. And this we call it night time. So now, although there are different kelvins, kelvins are the measurement of light, but don't worry, it's when you pick a niche in this field, you now start getting to knowing about these things. But when do you use this? And when do you use this? Does anybody have an answer to this? Me, I like simplifying it, so I'll simplify like ABC. But before then, does anybody have an answer to this? The light has 2 few. When do you use the white one? When do you use the middle one? That's when you mix it and it's balanced. When do you use the warm one? Does anybody want to attempt? Please attempt. Toby asked the question. Some of us have been shooting already. Now let's attempt. There's no right or wrong. What the kind of feel, right? So he said, depending on the kind of feel you want, is not wrong, is right. But me, I'll still take you back to the what? Basics. So, I'll still take you back, oh yes ma'am. I'll still take you back to the basics. So, before the advent of, are you guys listening? Are you looking at? Before the advent of digital cameras, when I learned media after the church, this thing, it's not like, it's just like a few decades ago. It was this MD 10,000 shoulder camera we used. Now, those cameras don't have auto white balance. There's a need for this. There's a reason why your lights have this. But I'm trying to break this down so that newbies will not get super confused. So there's what we call white balance. And what does white balance mean on camera? Now, let me play this scenario. You watch different content online, right? Have you seen content where you feel like this person's skin is too red or it's too white, and you know that's not the real, like, or have they taken pictures or videos of you and you look at it and you're like, this is not how I look like now. It seems there is more red in this picture or in this video, or there is more white. Have such happened to you? So what has happened is white balance error. And that's why we have this. What has happened is what? White balance error. So what is white balance? So in law of camera, in law of cinematography, and it has been proven over time, even with your eye, like I said, the camera we all have is eye. It is that when you are filming in any space, ensure that what you see with your eye, white, is white. Ensure that what? White is what? White. Do you have any white handkerchief here? You guys see clapperboard in beginning of some of all this. You see this black and white clapperboard that I will say action. Now it is used to sync editing is also used for white balancing. That's why it's intentionally white and black. And you notice that before they do that clapper thing, the camera must be rolling. Because that's what they will use to pick before they do color correcting. There's what we call color correcting and color grading. And on your phones, that's what you refer to as effects, overlay. For some of you who use CapCut, overlay, you will see it there. Are you guys with me? So now, does anybody have a white handkerchief or a white paper? Just a white paper. I would have loved a plain A4 paper or white handkerchief. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have plenty white paper. I'm sorry, I have to honor elders. All right. So now, look at this. So when do you use this? Minus effect. And that's what he's saying about fill. Like when I edit, I can just want maybe a brown fill. I might want that. Maybe something I feel is cinematic. But while you are shooting the video raw, while you are shooting on set, ensure that your white is white. For some of us who have long years of experience, I can tell. I can just be looking at someone and I can see like maybe a touch of white or maybe your singlet or something. Like he's wearing this. Can you stand? So some of these things I will not tell someone, but I'm already looking at it. He's wearing this. Can you see white in his clothes? So if I'll set camera on it and I want to do my auto balance, I have to ensure that this Adidas white I'm seeing is really white on the camera. Because I can set the camera that this thing can be blue, it can be red. So that means it's not. So when you are shooting, before you start editing, ensure that your white is white. You can see it, please. So when we have this like this, is the white here white? Let's be honest, is the white white? The white is white, good. So when I do this, is this white white? Do you understand? So this is the foundation of most of those things you see in those pictures and videos. They put it in a different color tone. Does this answer your question, Toby? So when you are shooting, don't worry about editing yet. When you are shooting, for you to know which type of, now the white, this white is not white here. Do you guys know why? Do you know why? Minus this light. I can take this same light to another room and it will be white like this. Do you know why here? You have exposure from outside, daylight. All your lights here too are what? White. They are daylight. That's why this is quick to show that this will not be white here. If you enter a room and all you have is blue lights, like you enter, let's say, a restaurant or something, you have blue lights, you have red lights, there's tendency that this light here and this paper will now be white. This thing takes us back to mixing colors. What does blue and red give us? Do you understand? So that is just how lighting. That's why you can see that a lot of conversations we are having about setting camera right, setting picture right, falls back to what? Light. That's why I say as a painter uses paint. A sketch artist uses pencil. What does the camera person use? Light. If you have good visuals and you have good sound and you can frame well, you are good to go. The next level is post-production. And that too is not just one day, it is. But the first foundation is get your light right, get your sound right, and get your framing right. So let's talk about framing. Have we been able to do that? I'm waiting for... Okay. So while they are doing that, let me quickly use this to talk about sound. Although it's not in our outline, but I've heard most of you want to do commercials, you want to do comics, so you need sound. So, one mistake people do is you shoot videos and people worry more about, are you listening? People worry more about clear visuals and they neglect sound. Oh, I'm using an iPhone 17 Pro. Oh yeah, you're standing, you're taking your comic content. For those of you that want to take comic content, and you're not using mic because you feel, oh, you're using iPhone. The mic is good. Do you know how much the phone is? Visuals and sound is what makes for audio visual. Like you would have bread and butter, right? Not everybody likes it, so let me use something else. What can I use that goes together? Okay, let's say toothbrush and toothpaste. They go hand in hand, right? Would you put the same amount of toothpaste based on how long your toothbrush is on your toothbrush? Are you listening? If your toothbrush is this long, is that the same toothpaste you put there? There's a brush bristle, right? Right. And it also depends on the potency of the paste itself. Okay, thank you. It also depends on the potency of the paste itself. So now I want to throw this test to everybody. Please, let's drop our phones. Let's focus. I want to drop this to everybody. Audiovisual is when you have sound and visuals, right? Together to make visual. In all the content you watch, anything you watch, it has audio and it has visual. What do you think makes up the percentage of visual and what makes up the percentage of audio? Which one do you think is much more important? Video or audio? Let me see your hands up. Which one do you think is much more important? Huh? Okay, I want to break. I'll break you people's or bust your bubbles today. If you think audio is much more important than video, let me see your hands up. If you think audio is much more important than video, you tell me why. Let me see your hands up. The truth about creativity is none is right, none is wrong. But this certain one, something has been proven, and we'll get to know. If you think visuals is much more important, let me see your hands up. When I say audio, nobody raised up hand. So how come I don't have hands now? Eh? Both of them. Okay, if you think both of them is, which one do you think? Video. More important. Right. So please, this is not a right or wrong class, but I'm telling you the why. Proven why. If you think both of them are balanced, 50-50%, let me see your hands up. I don't understand these people. I don't understand. You are not raising your hand. So let's go back to the beginning. I want your hand to be like this. If you think audio is much more important, let me see your hands up. We have 1, 2. Is your hand up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, fine. If you think video is much more important, let me see your hands up. Video is much more important. Sir, your hand has to be up. Video is much more important. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who else? Video is much more important. 6. So if you think both are balanced, 50-50, let me see your hands up. This should be every other person, no? You're not picking a side now. All right, thank you. So the actual truth is, let me be like Frank Edo. Are you sure? Sound is 70%. Visual is 30%. Yeah. I'll tell you why. That's why I said it has been proven. This is not, we have argued it in different classes. So wait, okay. Talk, don't worry. We have argued it several times. Okay. You can create another sound for the video. And why do you want to create another sound? What is sound? What is sound? It's audio now. And why do you still want to create another sound? Yeah. And why do you still want to put another sound if you don't hear it clearly? No, don't worry. It's confusing. Let me break it for you. Now, are you guys listening? How many of you know radio? Because I feel some new or younger person may not know radio. How many of you know radio? Radio. Have you listened to the radio before? Did you get the message from a radio? Do you see anything from a radio? Do you see anything while listening to a radio? Toby, oh. Is there a radio that will show you something? I'm not saying sound is better. Listen, have you seen a radio that is showing you something before? But when you are hearing things from the radio, do you get it or not? Do you get the message or not? Adverts on radio, do you understand it or not? News on radio, do you understand it or not? Now, TV that has both audio and video. Now, this is it. And as I said, this has been proven several times. Have you been watching your TV? How do you feel when you watch your TV? and you increase the sound to the highest, you are watching film, you are watching news, and you cannot hear anything. How do you feel? You know that thing used to boil, like you are watching a film and you cannot hear anything. There's no subtitle, you can't even hear any sound. Eh? No matter how good the visual is, I don't mean like audio, I'm not talking about dialogue. You can't hear any sound. You will be left to imagine, or you start lip sync reading. Do you know how that thing is? Now wait. Sometimes when you turn on your TV and you can still hear the audio, but the TV has not come on, or maybe it's a dark scene in some films, but you can still hear audio, you can still hear sound, but you can't see the picture. Do you still get what is going on? So what does that tell us? So sound I'm talking about is not just dialogue. I mean every element of sound. It's not just dialogue, what someone is saying or what someone is not saying. I can show you a dark screen and I put, let's say, a mystery sound. Ooh, before maybe you see something, you might think maybe it's a graveyard, right? Maybe something scary coming. Power of what? Sound. Now, this is the major basics for the kind of content creators or directors that we are having now. There are so many mistakes that is happening right now with professional jobs. People will go and rent camera of 500K, rent camera of 1 million, rent camera of 300,000, rent camera of millions, and you ask them, and I ask the person, how many lapel did you bring? You brought one lapel. Now the wire is shaking. How much did they rent lapel? 5,000 naira. You can't rent two, and you have bought camera of 1 million naira. Can you see the imbalance? How do you feel for those of you that are going into corporate? You are shooting a testimonial for Kellogg, or you are shooting a testimonial for Pepsi. People are saying, oh, I love Pepsi so much, and you are hearing bad sound. They will never call you. Or events. Do you know how infuriating that is? Your sound is not good. Or comics. How many of you watch skits these days? You like the skit, they are talking. But you can't really hear them well, but you wish you can hear them well. But it's obvious that they did not use mic. Have you experienced anything of? Or you see someone, a beautiful lady or a handsome young guy in front of a camera talking about something that is painful, but yet he or she is in a noisy place without mic. And you are struggling to hear what he or she is saying, at the same time you are hearing the background noise or background music. Because there's no clarity in what? Sound. So please, it is quite difficult sometimes to even convince clients. When you put budget of something down, I'll be like, camera. No, camera is not a magician. Camera is built to enhance your visuals. It's not built to enhance your audio. You can only enhance your audio when you are close to it. But can you be shooting? Look at this camera now. So can you be shooting and you get close to it this way because you want to use the camera mic? Are you guys with me? Can I be like this because I want to use the camera mic? So the same thing if you are holding an iPhone 17 Pro or you are holding S24 or S25. Do you get the clarity? Do you get this thing? That's one thing about sound. Sound is very important. Pay attention to sound. Before you start rolling, listen to it. If you are shooting content creator with your phone, once you plug the wireless, they are cheaper wireless mic. When you plug it, before you start recording, test for like 5 seconds. Press record, tell the person to say 1 or 2 things. There are different times on different productions this has even happened years back, but it still happens to a lot of persons that I know now. We put lapel inside the camera, and the lapel was not connected fully. This side has a receiver. This is a lapel. So we have wired mic and wireless. All these ones that maybe you have one part here, the other part is on the camera, they are wireless. Wired is the one that straight runs into the camera. Now, the person put the, what's it called? The mic inside the camera, but he did not put it in fully. Do you know that everything that was said for that interview, we did not hear anything? Because at that point, the sound cannot even enter the camera. So what do you think I want to do? There's nothing AI wants to do. What cost us that? Not paying attention to what? Sound. So please, sound may look like 70%. And that's why I gave you that demonstration. When you hear clear sound, you can even reinvent the picture you are seeing again on the TV. There is radio drama now. Hope you guys know. BBC used to do it then. Yoruba, Pidgin. I'm not watching anything, but I can feel it. They'll even put car on, market sound, papa, they're talking. So, and how do you place mics? So, are we set with the camera thing? Okay, fine. So let me round up on the mic thing. So another thing about mics is when you're using mic on the camera, make sure that the volume doesn't hit. So the difference between camera, but I'll show you how you can achieve that on mobile phone. And mobile phone is when you are using it, you can see the wave, the frequency of the sound. So some people used to think on camera, which you will still see on this camera, you can see a box like this. It will have left and right. You understand? It will have different things like this. Depending on how you are talking, we'll see it on the camera. Ensure that when you are setting your sound, thank you. When you are setting your sound, please pay attention to this. Ensure that this audio waves thing doesn't hit the end. It's not good, it's peaking. Do you understand? Ensure that your audio waves. And how do you ensure that? No matter what, ensure that your lapel is not at the highest volume. If the highest is 10, put it on like 5, 6. Your camera, if the highest is 10, you can put it on like 4, 3. The lower it is, the more it makes you, this is a trick about sound, the more it makes you pay attention to the ambient sound. So you know if there is a fan, you know if the AC is disturbing, you know if this, and thankfully we have mics now that have noise cancellation. It's before that we turn off AC. Now we can leave the AC on. This mic also has noise cancellation. But yet, you still need to pay attention. If there is one thing that is happening now, that if I were to be in charge of production, I wouldn't accept, guess what it is? But maybe I can let that slide because there's a control room. But guess what it is? Look at the media guys behind you. Guess what it is? Nobody is on headsets monitoring the sound. But why I can say I can let this slide is because there's a what? Control room. But as a sound person, or as this thing is, if I now get to that control room and I now realize that the control person is not even paying attention to sound, he's not monitoring the sound, you have to. Someone must always be paying attention to sound. Even on film sets, on commercials, as camera guys is in charge of camera, you see it at the end of some of these films. You see sound recordists, right? Someone is in charge of sound. Someone is holding the mic. Someone else is paying attention. Are you with me? So now, let's go into composition. So, composition. Your phone gives you this kind of view, right? And camera gives you this kind of view. But if you still turn the camera this way, it will still give you this view. So what is this called? Most of you should know it now. Horizontal and vertical. Which one is horizontal? So this is actually horizontal. This is vertical. So we also call it landscape or portraits. We also call it 9:16 and 16:9. So when you shoot with your phone, most of the mobile content you see, for some of you that want to shoot comics and all of that, it is majorly 9:16, vertical, portrait, and this is landscape, 16:9. But like I do explain, I like explaining why, or the basics, so you understand. Why do you think this is called 16:9? Or why do you think naturally the way camera was built was to record good in landscape? Let's engage. Why? To cover a wide range. Technically, yes, but we have not hit it yet. Please, let's engage. I want you guys, let's think. You will do practicals at the end of this. There's still practical session for 1 hour. What? More exposure. Well, okay, technically, but you can still get more exposure. So now, this is the why, and that's why I like teaching with why, so that when you go outside, you can defend this thing, just like the way I defended 70-30. Cameras were traditionally made to capture landscape because of where it will end. Before now, what you record on camera does not show on phone. It shows on what? TV, screens. Now look at the TV behind you. What does that look like? That's 16:9. That is why cameras were traditionally made to take landscape. But now, things has what? Evolved. Now we have what? Portraits. Even before 16:9, but I don't want to go into the history of television. We have 1:1, the box TV. We have 4:3 before 16:9. We have 35mm, but I don't want to go into the history of what those are. You can later read on all those things, but that's why I'm giving you major background of everything. So now, things has evolved. Why do you think we have portraits now? Even some cameras are built to take portraits now these days. There's L-clamp, you can use it to convert a camera to. So why do you think we have most devices recording vertical? Why? Please, let's engage. I want to hear you. Thank you. Please, that's why I like engagement. If I'm talking alone, it looks like I'm the only one that has this. No, some of you all have phones, you have seen things. So why do we have portraits? He said because where he wants to what? End. You are going to end up watching it on a what? On a phone. And that's what takes us back. You want to do commercial, you should ask yourself the question, how do you start? Will you start with doing random commercial for portraits, or do you want to go straight into corporate? Like you want to take testimonials. Corporate videos are into very different things. There's corporate workshop, there's corporate events, there's testimonials and interviews. You now have commercials and the likes. So before you shoot a content, you should always ask yourself the question, where will this content end? That will determine how you shoot it. So, he can be a pastor. Are you listening? Ebuka can be a pastor. I can be his media aide. I want to shoot in the church. And I shoot some landscape. And I shoot some portrait. Please tell me why. Tell me why. Ebuka is a pastor. He's my client. I'm his media aide. I want to shoot in church. He asked me to shoot some videos in church. Now, I want to shoot some portraits. And I want to shoot some landscape. As a media practitioner, why do you think I want to shoot some portraits? Sit, just talk, yeah? Which one will I post on YouTube? Facebook, and thank you. So the landscape may most likely end. That's why I want us to engage. The landscape will most likely end on YouTube for full view, right? People watching at home. And the portrait is not just Facebook that should be the answer. This portrait is most likely to be snippets that is to be shared across mobile. Something that they can share immediately on WhatsApp. It's meant to be snippets. But longer form videos should be on what? Landscape. And that's why, this is why, you see the things we are having here, the conversations we are having. Are you listening? These are the conversations that goes into why certain platforms have tried certain things, but they went back. And that's what makes, even as a media practitioner, you should start thinking like a strategist. I don't know if you guys knew, like a few years back, was it last year or last 2 years? Netflix tried to bring in shorts, but they stopped. They don't have shorts now. Why? They realize that people will not watch long content on shorts. People want to watch shorter things on portraits. But if they want to watch longer thing, our brain psychologically, we can watch it on landscape. And when YouTube also wanted to introduce short and reels, when Instagram to introduce reels, it is majorly meant for what? Short videos. So if you're a client, if you're talking to a client, and that's why I want you to all to understand these basics. If you're talking to a client, you want to shoot something, an event now. Thank you. Now, what's the name, please? Bukola, you have an event now, as we've said, that you want to go into event. I'm your client. And I want everybody to learn into this because anybody can come to meet you. I'm your client, and I ask you, I want you to cover my event, my birthday. Your question should be, what should be a creative next question? No. The clients will not know that one. The clients will not know, do you want it to be mainly on mobile? Do you want it to be landscape or portrait? They'll tell you, I don't know. What clients will tell you, they'll set you up. To them, they'll say, I want something professional. That's all. But it is not your duty to ask, what are the deliverables? What kind of video do you want? That content of full video, they don't still understand. So the question is, do you want, since it's a birthday event, do you want 1 hour or 2 hours of your birthday, or you just want something you post on social media, shorts? That's the question I mostly ask them. So some will now tell you, oh, before now, some will tell you, most of them will tell you they want the full this thing captured. But now some will tell you they want it captured at the same time. They also want something that they can share online. And we give them 2 options. 1 or 2 person cannot do that. If you use our team for the full this thing, you have to pay extra. Although through editing, you can shoot landscape and still convert portrait, but the real truth there is the orientation affects quality. And also, someone who is shooting, if I have the mindset that what I want to edit is just 2 minutes, but I want to do like 5 to 2 minutes video, I won't be recording for long. I know, oh, they want to cut cake. I just need where they cut the cake. Yeah, stop. Someone is saying speech, oh, my auntie was a good person. Stop. Because I know what I need is just 2 minutes. But when the orientation of you want to do 1 hour, if you are saying my auntie is good, she is the pilot, you record all those things for like 10 minutes. Oh. So you need to know, you also need to school your clients on what they want. It's not like the clients don't know what they want, but they don't know the professional term. Nowadays, with the level of how production is going, there are different things that my production team does. Sometimes clients will call us for just short video, 3 to 5 minutes, and they'll pay us as big as recording full, but that's what they want us to do. They will hire another person for full video. So sometimes when I see the conversation and I say people are plenty in media, I be like, people don't understand it. As much as we have much people now in media, it's even the best. Because the real truth there is everybody is not doing the same thing. Everybody is not doing the same thing. There was a client, a corporate event, a 10-year, they were doing 10-year anniversary. We had like 5 videos, guys, 5 video companies. But guess what? We are all doing different things hired by the clients. It's not like one person cannot do everything and hire more guys. And that's why I said it's good for you to have a niche. Sometimes people prefer to call people based on this specialty. A video company was handling live streaming. Another video company was handling shots in portraits. Another video company was handling shots in landscape. Another video company was just shooting with phone for immediate Instagram upload. Everybody was paid well. So you as Bukola, let's say you have 1 or 2 assistants. Can 2 or 3 persons, can you deliver all of those things? Is it that you hire more persons or you work with more creative? And that's why in this creative economy, you have to work hand in hand. Because sometimes you might get jobs, it's not one person. You need to work with people. And the beautiful thing why I like the media job is you don't need to have anything to start. And that's this I'll tell you from my own personal experience. I started making money off media without owning anything. Can you shoot this? I learned the skill. I told you the foundation from church, right? And from that, okay, when I went to school, when I was in school, I paid my first year, my parents had to pay the school fees. For my second year, I paid my school fees all to the end. And I did not have camera. I bought my laptop in my second year. I don't have camera, I don't have laptop. Then I charge, although that was years back, I charge about 10K, 15K to cover events. I rent camera, 2,000 naira. I'll buy CD, then we do deliverables in CD. I buy CD. CD is one CD then is 100 naira. We print on CD for like 200 naira. I buy pack, 300 naira. My whole costs and my transport, as long as it's within Lagos, would not exceed 5,000 naira. And I've charged the person how much? 10, 15,000. And that was how I was saving money. I did not own a camera. By the time I'm done editing, there are guys that majorly they focus on edits. I pay them 3,000 naira. That was as I did. But I can still do the same thing now. There are some jobs that I get, sometimes that we have, our company will have 2, 3 jobs the same day. We don't have all equipment. Our equipment can go to one location. The other one, I rent. You charge a client 100,000, 200,000. You rent a camera of 10K. You pay your creative, you consider transport, like 30 to 50K. You charge like 200K. Your expenses will not get up to 100K, and you are just seated. Can you see passively, you can even make money off media? And that's why on the larger scale, we have people who don't even know anything about media, and they are media consultants getting jobs. They just look for the media professionals to execute it. So it is good. Media is not a skill that you feel like you have media skill and you don't want to learn, you don't want to go to school. It is even good if you have your media skill and you are well educated. That's how you get the bigger contracts. And you may not even need to do anything. So you see, media is one of the business you can start with nothing at all. Nothing. And I'm not saying nothing. Okay, let me give you an example. Someone who you already know is making a whole lot of money already from the church. Let me ask. Mr. Ayosa, honestly, do you have a personal camera? I want them to learn. No. It's not like he doesn't have the money to buy a camera. But the truth there is sometimes you might just look at it. This next 6 months, a bigger camera will come out. When money comes for a job, you can pick a place to rent. Do you have a place where you rent cameras sometime? But when you have the money, when you save, you can use it to buy other gadgets. Do you have a drone? So he uses money instead to buy a drone and some other equipment. But if I ask you, can you cover an event for me tomorrow? Can you cover an event for me tomorrow? And not tomorrow, literally. Like, can you cover an event for me? Because you're thinking if you are busy or not. No. I'm just trying to. If I ask him, can you take so money and cover an event for me? Yes, he will. You don't need to tell the client you want to go and rent camera. Another thing I do for some people that I train, and that's how some of my own bosses to do. So don't be scared about this media job. You have someone like him in your church here. You can go home. The first set of people I worked for were my mom's friend. Then when I was a teenager, they were my mom's friend. My mom's friend has a party or they have a business. Don't worry, I can shoot something with my phone. If you don't have a big phone, beg your friend that has a big phone. If that your mom's friend or your friend will pay you money, go and meet someone that has a big phone and say, okay, I'll give you XYZ amount to use your phone for 1 hour. Go to their business, shoot something with the phone. Don't wait till you have camera. You don't need to wait. Do we have any questions before I move? Do we have any question? Sorry. So now let's quickly do this. I'm sorry, I lecture so I can talk like for 5 hours and I will stop. You have question, okay? Abba, please, let's ask questions. Yeah. It's a general question. Okay. Okay.
So what are the important equipment that we can actually get as a beginner?
Okay, thank you. What are the important gadgets you can get as a beginner? Again, I will use my own experience and I'll use his own experience. I'll answer you. first, you don't need anything. What you need is a creative mind and the will to start. That's how I started, and that's how he's still doing it. The will to start and the creative mind, that's what you need. I started with my mom's friend. The first job I did, my heart was like this. How much was it? Was it 10K or 15K? My heart was like this then, that year. But when I finished the job and I gave it to the person, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, the next person, the next two person, when I started charging them 50,000 naira, this money as at 2013, 14 was quite, at least my laptop then, I bought my laptop 80,000 naira. So imagine when I started charging 50,000 naira and from 2 or 3 jobs, I could buy a laptop. I'm not saying you should charge 10,000 naira now. I'm using the equivalent of then. But people were saying, oh, nice, well done, good job. And you know where? Okay, I had my secondary school education in Ota. The MFA Manuel I was saying is in Ota. So one of the things I use there, and that's how you can stand out, is how you package yourself. I was about going to school. So I saw the way the guys there with their camera, the cameras then that they use, blah, 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 the way they package themselves. They wear slippers to events or palm. When I wanted to start, I was just a secondary school graduate still waiting to enter school. But me, I wear sneakers, I wear jeans. You know this I'ma keep shirts that was ready then. I'll wear it again, I'll use belt, I'll talk in. So my mom's friend, when I entered, I'll be like, oh, come on, you have been sitting here, like, else the work I was doing, they were feeling like, no, this guy is professional. To them, see, to clients, professional is not just what you bring out from the camera. Your appearance. Professionalism is not just what you bring out. When you go to a client to go and shoot, do they see the end product already? No. But what do they see? You, your appearance. I remember at some point, even when I was young, when I was a teenager, I was using glass. I was not recommended. Glass, the doctor did not tell me to use glass. So I was using glass because I feel like he gave me this sophisticated look. And in some parties, when I go record, they'll tell me, is your glass recommended? I'm sorry, God forgive me, I lied. I'll say yes. But it was just the appearance. So you need the creative mind and you need the will to start. But if you now start getting money, I'll be honest with you, as long as you don't have, some people have access to finance or funding. If you don't have access to big finance or funding, if you want to get any gadget, number one I would advise you is get a tripod. It's cheap. A tripod, that is a tripod, the 3-leg stand, camera stand. If you can get that, get a tripod. After a tripod, and this is one thing about camera handling. A lot of person feel, oh, my hand is stable, my hand is sharp, How do you feel else when you are watching films and certain scenes? When you are watching someone talking and the camera is shaking a bit, it doesn't make you retain. Sometimes the person might be serious, you just feel like what you are watching is not serious. So get a tripod. I'm sure this should be less than 20,000 naira. But like I said, you literally don't. First thing first is, if you are worried about starting, look for where you can rent around your neighborhood. Sometimes it can even be the media guys in your church. Some of them are already into this business. So they have where they rent from. But if you have some money, get this first. After this, the next thing I will advise you to get, because that one is actually cheaper, you can get mic or light. If you get mic, next is you should get light, 1 or 2 lights. If you get light, next is you should get mic. Do you understand? You need those basic things because it's beyond the camera. The camera will not do all the magic for you. So you just know that when you want to rent, the only thing you are renting elsewhere is just what? Camera. And if it's bigger production, you rent more lights. And the beautiful thing about production is, the bigger the project, it is no longer a one-man project. From where you rent, brother, one company, they say, I should come and do commercial, they know what you need already. Even the clients will ask you, let me see your invoice. So you go and meet people that have done it. What and what do I need? Where do I rent from? And how do you do the calculation? I'll be honest with you, I'll be playing with you. We do calculation times 3. If something costs 10 naira, you multiply it times what? 3. So if camera costs 10,000 naira, I write times 3, 30,000. Why do I do that? 1, to get my profit. 2, also for excuses or when contingency happen. Contingency is things that you don't plan for. Now, like what, right? Did someone say like what now? Like, let's say We rent different equipment now. We are moving from here to there to point B. Are you listening? We have a job on the island, and I've calculated transport to be 5,000. And even because if I'm mobile, it's not every time I drive. Even with job, I'll calculate my fuel fee. I'll write logistics. I can write 100,000. Clients will tell me, most of my clients, as at now, they already know because they understand the business. They are also running business. 100,000 is way much more to get me to that place. But there are some scenarios that you'll be going on the road. Your tire will have faults. Your battery will have issue. Or today you see ride 10,000 naira to Island. Tomorrow morning you wake up, it's 20,000 naira. It is unprofessional for you to now start calling clients. Hello ma, I'm sorry. The transport is now 20,000 naira. I don't think I can. When she has already paid you 50% or 60% of the money. No. So you do times 3. So 1 is the actual cost. Are you listening? 10 naira to rent camera. That's the actual cost. The second one is for contingency, things you do not plan for. Then the third one is your profit. Now, when everything goes smoothly, but let me be honest, it's not every time everything goes smoothly. When everything goes smoothly, that second one, that is now like, don't spend it, oh. What you do is save it. Because sometimes there are some contingency that will come, that even the money for your production will not cover. So it is that one that you have been saving that will cover it. Contingency like, you go and rent someone camera lens fell. You go and shoot, you rent camera, you are charging someone battery. Then you left the event place and you forgot the person's battery. It's just contingency that I'll just tell my team, you and who go went to work, fine. I know there's contingency. Sometimes if the contingency can follow, because there's savings, let's go and buy another battery, we'll replace it. Luckily for us, sometimes you have the DJ or someone tell you, oh, they help you find the battery. It now belongs to me. We have added more equipment. But you have had something to replace. Are you with me? So that is best. So about framing, can we have this camera here? Is someone there? Yeah. I want us to do something quickly. So, now, you can see how it is right now. You can see the wall, right? Mr. Ayo, please let me have the outline. I want to look at the time too. Can I continue? Can I continue? No, this yes is not encouraging. Can I continue? I also have to check time too, though. Sorry. So luckily we have done balancing exposure, we have done lighting usage, but I'll still talk more on the exposure triangle. I'll briefly talk about the editing recommended apps for phone and laptops. Then the second facilitator, Mr. Ayo, will continue on that. Then we'll have your practical next. What time is it, please? Sorry, I want to know how fast I can speed up some certain things. Okay, we're still on course. When is we have done breakfast already, right? Okay. So we are still on course. Question and answers is 1 to 1:40, and we have been having question and answer already. All right, so before lunch. So, sir, sorry, I want to make a request. There are practicals that we'll have them do. Can their practicals come before their lunch? I'm sorry, I'm not depriving you of food, though. I'm sorry, I'm not depriving you of food. It's only that most times when we eat, maybe it's me as a creative, when I eat, it's like my sorrow has suppressed. So I just, while you are doing your practicals, you can now eat where you're rounding up so that we don't waste much time. So we'll be able to preview some things that you've learned here. Okay, so now, on this, now I want this to be very much more engaging, and I'll be asking direct questions. I am talking. This is your screen at home, or this is your final screen that you intend to watch. Sorry, let me put my other phone on silent. Sorry. Sorry, please. It's work call and I don't want to. Yeah, let me do that now. Yeah, thank you. All right. So now, and this, now what we're talking about is framing shots and the application of shots. Framing shots and shots, SHOTS, and the application of shots. So, types of shots. Sorry, I'm not a good artist too. All right. So, can you see this? Although I'll explain. Now, types of shots. And I want to tell you that away from lighting that we've spoken about, and we'll talk about exposure too, this is a crucial part that you need to pay attention to. And every movie, every content you've seen, this is just what varies it. We have, now the types of shots are based on 3 divisions. Wide shots, which is also called long shots. Medium shots, and what? Close up. Now from these 3 variations is where we have these types of shots. You have extreme wide shots, or you can say extreme long shots. Is it that you use the word wide or you use what? Long. What we are now looking at is, when do you use these shots? You watch films, you see wide shots, you see close up. The cameraman is not just doing, or the director is not just doing action going in, action going out. There is a reason, and it's that reason we want to talk about. When you see extreme wide shots or wide shots is also long shots. Anything that is shot wide or long means it has to show the head to toe of a subject or an object. Now, when we say subjects in filmmaking or in production, we mean human being. Objects can be house, anything. So any shot, you can see this one now. I put someone there and like a building, right? But we could see the head to toe. We could still see other things around, right? That's extreme wide shots. Give me an example of where you see extreme wide shots. The kind of shot or content you see extreme wide shots. Huh? This. Thank you. I want you guys to be here. You can see these shots now. I'm sure if you look at somewhere in between there, you can see me, my head to toe, right? But at the same time, you see everything in here. But it's not framing me, maybe just my own wide shot alone. So this is an extreme wide shot of this interior. If, let's say, there's a drone now, and you go outside, and the drone takes from bed angle, that's an extreme wide shot of this building. You people have seen drone shots before now. You see the building is just in the middle, and every other thing. That's an extreme wide shot. So now, give me wide shots. Mr. Ayosa, give me wide shot of me. Wide shot of me, wide shot. So let me stay in the frame where you can see me. Okay, you can't see me, I'm still blocking. No, wide shot, wide shot. I want to stay in a place where I can see my legs. All right, yes. I'm quite short in this one. Well, I'm short though. So, now this is showing my head what? To toe. This is just a wide shot. Now the question now is, when do you show an extreme wide shot? When do you think you show an extreme wide shot? Because this is what will make you good editors. A cameraman will shoot different things. You as an editor, you are not the one to know this is the shot I want to pick. If some of you have been on film sets, maybe even in the church, if you have drama group and all, you hear director saying, action, wide shots. When he's done, he'll say action, medium shots. When he's done, he'll say action, close-up shots. It's not like it's all the shot they want to use, but he's giving the editor different options of shots, variation. And he expects the editor to start using them as he ought to use them. So, as a human being, not as a media practitioner, when do you think we should use that extreme wide shot? That one that shows everybody that this is a church. So if we are editing now, when do you think we should show that one? Please feel free, let's engage. Yes, talk, Ademilade. Huh? On shot on your video, yes, but when should we use it? If we are editing, at what point should we use it? Yes, sir. Please don't stand, sir. No. God is the teacher. I'm just a vessel. Okay, good. He said when there is response from the audience, good, because that was what will show the hand up and all of that. Good.
And the actions.
And actions too from the audience. Good. I need another response. When something big is about to happen too. Good. That's good too. You see, this is why as creatives, when you give different people different shots, you have different outputs because we think uniquely. That's good. All right. When the choir, there's no choir here. No, there's no choir here. Set. Is this set? So, when what? Yeah, just like you mentioned. Yes, fine. But as an editor, now I would, like I always say, I would always break down the basic so that you know why. So when you're now editing, you can now do beyond the basic. The basic reason why you should use an extreme wide shot that shows that, like that shot that shows that this place is a church and we are all in here, is to establish the place where you are recording. Are you with me? If we just start these shots now from close up of me, how will people tell that we are in a church? So the first reason why you use extreme long shots or long shots is to what? Establish the environment. That's why you see when you are watching film, if maybe the scene they want to do is in a school or in a campus, you first see them show the campus, University of Lagos or Oxford University. They are trying to tell you that everything I want to shoot now that you want to see is happening in this place. You will see when you are watching film, when they will go to a rich man's house or a poor man that is going to make the switch, they'll first show outside Like show that this is a very big house, so because you're about to see a room in that house, and the room in that house, from that room, you can't tell if it's how big or how wealthy the person is. Because someone can still be in a regular block and he can still make his space look that luxurious. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So extreme long shot or long shot, it is to establish where the scene is happening. For you that want to go into events, you see events videos. They'll show the outside of the event center or the church to show that, oh, this wedding is done in so Anglican church. Or you see some editors, they'll first use wide shot of Lagos. That this wedding was done in what? Lagos. Or Abuja. Or if it's outside Nigeria, you see they want to establish where this is. Or maybe a hotel. So that's why we use this. But also to complement, if there will be action on the wider scene, like what he mentioned, like audience engagement. So let's say we are showing the front of a house and a car is about to drive in. We also still have to show the wide shot because there's about to be an action, just like what Ebuka said. There's about to be an action in that scene. Because if you just show the tire of the car coming in, can we tell where the car has entered? Either it's police station, hospital, we don't know. So that's the reason why we have wide shots or extreme wide shots used. Medium shots now. Can we have medium shots? Mr. Ayo, sir. Mr. Ayo, I guess you are busy. We can have someone that maybe is less busy. So this is medium shots. Now, medium shots is practically half of any subject. Okay? It's practically half of any subject or any object. Like this now. Mr. Ayo, can we just go out a bit? A bit. No, out a bit. Yes, good. No, not to my tummy. Yeah, good. That's fine. So now, when you are cutting different variation of shots, for you to be professional, please don't make this mistake. Pay attention, because these things, you'll not see them online. Don't make this mistake. Don't cut any part of the body with camera at a place that is like a joint. It is not professional. This is also a medium shot. Can you see this? But it's actually at my belt line. It is so wrong. It is, you should give allowance, because what that does is just a psychological thing. When you are watching someone and the camera cuts at a place where it's a joint, you look as if that person's body has been cut off. It's a psychological thing. So if I want to take a medium shot, is that I take it from here, a little above the belt line, or I take it from, I'm trying to go back, from here. No, it's fine. So this is telling you that I still have legs. But I'm not cutting it from the middle part. Don't cut at any joint. Are you with me? You can see this looks way more different than what we had before and the movies. You are looking at it and to you it's like it's so good. Minus the colors, minus this thing. What is making it so good to you is because they are shooting it right. This thing marries with our head. So medium shot. Like hand movement, leg movement. So let's say I'm dancing now. I want to show medium shots. The medium shot will be from here. Mr. Ayo, the medium shot from here down to my leg. Let's say I were to be a dancer. And after we have done, let's say you have church choirs, and after they have done this, they want to start doing some leg dance and all of that. This is still medium shot, but it's at the lower parts. That's if I were to be a dancer, or maybe we are doing choreography or something. Are you with me? I will ask you these questions and you apply it during practicals. Wide shot is used to do what? Establish a scene, a location, and at the same time, if there's about to be action on a wider scale. Medium shot is to show action within a subject. Medium shot is not just for human being. All these shots is not just for human being. It can be for objects. If I'm showing a car now and someone is to come down from the front part of the car, the camera can focus from just half of that car to the front, because someone just wants to come down from the front. That's still medium shot of that car. So now let's have close-up shots. Close-up shot is when you're just showing one part of any subject or any object. I said close-up shot is when you're just having what? One part. So it can just be, I can say, Mr. Ayo, give me close-up of just my hand. Okay, it can't zoom, it's limited zoom, right? So let me come closer. So like this is close-up of just the hand. Are you with me? So if I say close-up while I'm talking, close-up. Sorry, the camera is limited zoom, I've forgotten. All right. So is this your best zoom? So do you know why it stopped here and not on my neck? I want response now. Before speak, because it should not stop at the what? Joint. It will look odd. I want to walk close to you. Look at this. Cut me at my neck. Sorry, don't cut me like friendly shot on my neck. So, can you see how odd this might look? Can you guys see? If I put my hands down and I'm talking, it might look as if other part of my body does not exist. But when I go back, there's still a tighter shot, but I'll tell you, but when I go back and it frames it for close-up, I don't it's a psychological thing. And when do you use close-up most times? You use close-up when there is more action on that part. Like I'm talking. So where do you have more action? My mouth, my face, I'm talking to you. And you also use close-up when you want to get intimate with the viewer. So we're having a pastor video, and pastor is saying, maybe from medium shot, and pastor is now saying, you at home, I pray to you that the Lord bless you. At that time, you're on close-up. Because the person watching at home now, it's personal now. Or he's saying, now I want you to pray. Do you understand? Or someone is giving a brand testimonial, and he's saying, oh, when I used Dudu Osun cream, I felt so. They are saying something personal, so you want to connect. We don't need, what they are saying now is from inside. So we don't need a lot of distraction with the background. It's not about the beauty of the background anymore. You can show the beauty of the background maybe when the person is walking to sit down, to talk. My name is, you're introducing the person, so you can introduce the background. But now the person is saying something personal. You can use close-up. All right? Someone is clapping. You can use close-up. Let's say I'm holding this person's head. This is the part, one part of his head I'm holding. I can show a close-up. So now, the last shot we have is now extreme close-up. An extreme close-up, since close-up means showing a part, extreme close-up means what? Since close-up means showing a part of a subject or object, extreme close-up means what? You know it's extreme. Just like extreme wide shot, you are showing more than head to toe. So extreme close-up, you are showing a detail of a part. You are showing the detail of a part. So let's say now I'm crying. Aya, please give me extreme close-up. Although I'm not crying, I don't. May we all laugh. May we all have reasons to laugh and be happy and be thankful to God. And if there will be tears, it will be tears of joy. So let me get closer. I still need to get closer. All right, so this is extreme close-up, just showing the detail of my eye. But can you see tears in my eye? Because I'm not crying. So let's say someone is having conversation with someone and the person is crying and you want to show that the person is crying. Or maybe blood is running down the nose. That's when you start showing the detail of a part. Do we have any questions on these types of shots? Do we have questions on these types of shots? Do we have questions? You do practicals, though. Do we have questions on these types of shots? No. So we are good. Thank you. I'm rubbing this off. So, I want to give you a free tweak for those of you with your mobile phone. Download Blackmagic Camera from either Google Play Store or Apple. What the Blackmagic Cam does is it allows you to shoot your phone contents like camera. So if you have your phone here or if you have access to any phone, download Blackmagic Camera. And quickly, I'll use it to talk about the last part of my session now before the editing part starts. And I'll tell you the practical to do. I'll give you the practical before the editing part starts. So, exposure triangle. So, we have to upgrade our phone. Or two, if you have access, maybe your partner, a friend that has it, you can just download it. It doesn't really even take space because whatever you shoot there, you still save on the phone. So Blackmagic Camera, you see it on Google Play Store or Apple Play Store. What? It's the first one. No. Blackmagic. It's not coming out from this one. Okay, you said it won't work on your device as well. That's fine. But if you get home, maybe any other person's phone you have access to. So, yeah? Does it work on this thing? I've not used that before. Sony, let me see what it looks like. If I can use that too. Because I've not tried the camera, the Canon Connect is not similar. I have accessed that one before. Because I like saying maybe what I've used or what I can use at any time. But the Blackmagic is just so unique in its own and it's free, totally free. The beauty this thing too is free, but there are some features that is not free on it. But the Blackmagic Cam is free. Has anybody been able to download it on this phone? You've been able to download it? Oh, awesome. So you can see that it turned your phone camera into a different dynamics, right? You are struggling to see the. Is this how you go to your normal camera now? Like the way the formation is, it will bring out settings that is now your phone will not bring out. You can see this is light meter. You can see ISO. Your phone will not bring your normal phone will not bring out all of this. These are camera settings now on your phone, and that's why I want to talk about the exposure triangle. So if you take that phone now, if you take it to that camera beside, all those things you are seeing now, that's the things you have on the camera. So what the app does is, it just converts your phone camera to a professional camera. It gives you the features, you can see the sound, you can see the ISO, you can see the shutter. Now this is a tweak of most of the mobile content creators. Most mobile content creators you see out there, that's what they use. Especially with their phone, this is what they use. And they shoot it because you can make it flat, you can white balance, you can control all of these things. So now, please, I want us to pay attention to this part. What is it? You can see it's different. As I said, I've not used other ones. So it's Blackmagic Camera you can download. So now, please, I want you to pay attention to this part. Everyone, this is the part that will make you a good cinematographer or camera operator or what have you. Please pay attention. This part always look like maths. And that's why I made it the last before I give you the practicals and before your edit process. Are you guys listening? Please, I need everyone settled. I need you to look at the board. If possible, drop your phone. Because unlike other parts that I've been able to simplify, this part is hard to simplify. I just have to state it. It's like maths. You know, 2 plus 2 is always what? 4, right? No matter what, it's always 4. That's how this part is. Please pay attention. This, if you can get this today, and I can tell you that I can take you out to work, or Mr. Ayo can take you out to work immediately. I'm being honest. This part is the mathematical part of camera, and it's very, very important. Now, I told you that as a painter, please pay attention, uses paint to paint. A sketch artist uses, we said a camera person uses what? Light. And that is why this is called what? Exposure triangle. This is what will determine the quality of your video. Please pay attention. For some of you that I know your names already, I'll call your names. Bukola, pay attention. Because this is the part where we can charge any amount to teach anyone this thing. All those things I've taught you, fine. But without these things, this particular one, you're not a pro. This is called what? Exposure triangle. If you get this triangle, then you can set any camera right. Even if you don't get this thing today, I will introduce this to you. Make sure you go online, read about it. Now, I want to take us back to the first thing I said when I came here. That we turned off the lights. I asked you to use your phone, and you are pushing the lights up. And when you are pushing the lights up, what do you notice? It was grainy. It was bright, right? But if you look at the picture quality, it's grainy. That is ISO gain. ISO gain. GAIN. And in this exposure triangle, listen, it states that the higher you push this ISO for your brightness, fine, your picture will be brighter, but you will have what? Noise gain on your picture. When I mean picture, I mean the video. Do you understand? And what that means is, the higher you push this ISO gain, the lower your picture quality. Are we getting somewhere? Can you see this part? I can't really simplify it. I just have to state it. So when you get to that brother there, that's the camera I mean. Or when you are using Blackmagic. So without this thing, if you don't understand this thing, you can't use the Blackmagic even on your phone. So what's the ISO on that your phone saying now? Who else have been able to download it? Have you been able to download it? Now go to it. What's it saying? 382. 382 is not bad. It shouldn't exceed the base ISO I used to give anybody, either for camera or anything, is 400. It's the base. Like that's the base I give. Although some cameras will tell you will have base 800. Fine. Yeah, what's yours? 656. So you should bring it down. Bring it down to 400. So because, are you listening? If you are in any room, please listen. Like I said, this is what will make you grow. If you are in any room at all, are you listening? And your ISO is at 400 and it still looks dark, then the next thing you will work on is aperture or shutter speed. If you work on these two, I will tell you how to work on that. And it's still dark. What you need is what? What do you think you need? What do we say a cinematographer uses, a painter uses paint? You need what? The only scenario where this one can be, this ISO can be on 100 and it's still super bright is when you are outside. And that's because the highest power of light is the what? Sun. Are you with me? For any indoor situation, you need to put this together. Now, these settings is what makes some professional, call themselves professional. They will still carry big camera and they'll go and shoot rubbish. And have you seen scenarios where people will tell you, this guy shot with a lower camera, but his picture quality is better than that other guy? That's because the guy that shot with the lower camera knows more about what? This setting. And he knows how to apply it. As I said, this is quite crucial. I will introduce it to you, but if you have time, this is just the maths side of camera. Every other thing looks creative, right? This is the mathematical side, calculation part. Now, let's go back to this ISO. The higher you push your ISO, the number on the camera or your phone. When you go to your normal phone camera, you will not see all the setting. It's only when you use that Blackmagic cam, because it will put camera setting on your phone. When you push this ISO up, I told you that it will be what? Brighter. Can you do that? When you did it, was it brighter? When you push the ISO up, was it brighter? Who said yes? When you push your ISO up, was it brighter?
Yeah.
But it's not good, because on the detail, it will have gain. So the base, that 300 and something you are, is fine. So if you need anything to be much more brighter, you advise your clients, sir, ma, you need light. There is no indoor shoot that will not write for lights. At least I'll write for 2 or 3 lights. Because I know I will have to push up ISO. And once I'm pushing up ISO, now, do you know one thing about our phones, which is very funny, and even camera? You know that the screen there is small. I don't know if you have ever shot something on phone and it looks super clear, and you put it on TV and it looks very noisy. Because that noise on your small screen, you can't see it. If you see it, it is small. So when you are even seeing it on your small screen, if it's on the big phone, it's gone. So these are the settings that if you get right, you will have something very good. And that's why when you have your ISO, so the base is best is at 400. But when you're outside or when you know you have plenty light, reduce it. Because the lowest it can be, which is 100, or some ISO goes to 50, 150. The lowest it can be, the better your picture quality to start with. The better your picture quality. That means your this thing will not have gain, it will not have noise. If it can even be on this 50, 100. If I'm shooting anything commercials, anything for brand, I make sure it's on 100, always. Or the base ISO, the lowest that camera can be. I'll make sure it's on that. Because that way, I know that I'm having the clearest. So if it's not clear at that point, you need extra light. And that's why when I'm doing even this thing, and even as a professional, if you think one night light is enough, make for backup. Make for another light, just in case. So now this takes us to aperture. I'm doing it from the simple to the lowest. This takes us to aperture. Now this aperture setting has to do with the lens. I told you our eye is a camera, right? What's the lens in our eye? Your pupil, that black stuff. So for camera, do we have a spare camera here that I can hold? Maybe a photographer's camera or just one camera I can just hold for. A camera that I can detach the lens. Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right. Sorry. So yeah, we have the camera body. You see all these settings, this aperture, ISO, shutter speed. If you are with any camera in this world, that's what you should just go and look for the settings. Because typically, that's what used to be on this. This is ISO. You can see the ISO here is what? 2000. Maybe because they are taking picture with this, so the flashlight power. But if I were to take video on this, I'll take the ISO to what? To what? What would I take the ISO to? 400 first. I'm not me. You can see 400 now. What's happening? It's really dark. We need lights. But before I get to we need lights, we'll get to this brother aperture, and maybe I'm using just brother. Let's say this sister aperture and shutter speed. So now we have done what? ISO to be 400. Now this is the lens. And in most DSLR, I don't need to say it's digital single lens reflex. Well, you don't need to be concerned about that. So these are DSLRs. They are digital single lens reflex. And we have two types of DSLR. We have the mirror one and we have mirrorless. This one is mirror. So most times why it's called mirrored one is you can see mirror inside, like a small mirror. And the mirrorless is just digital, it doesn't have mirror. So this explains how the camera gets its image. You see this lens, it's just like a glass. What you see straw, what you point to it carries the image, it slaps it to this mirror. Then this mirror sends it straight, there's another image in here. And that imaging records it to the card. That's the technology inside. But for mirrorless, once you attach it, it just sends it directly to the card. So this is the lens. So aperture, which is the mirror or mirrorless? It depends on you, what you are using. No, the advantage of mirrorless is that mirrorless is easier to, it's just like, I won't say automatic and manual, but something like that. You know, even auto self, there are different type of auto. We have cars now that the gear is like button. So that one, you can't compare it to my own sticky gear, even though it's auto. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So it's just, because the thing about cameras is, and that's why you see most award-winning cameras these days, sometimes they're not even new cameras. Some directors will go and use old cameras because of the feel they want to get. The thing about gear is, it depends on you, how you use it. The only thing about mirrorless over this is that for mirrorless, it's digital technology. There's tendency that most of the things you record really slaps immediately. But this, if it's having issues, every time you take picture, you even hear the clap, the mirror clap. Sorry, it will be making noise. That's not an issue. But over time that it works, it can make the mirror and the sensor weak. So maybe after like 1 or 2 years, you might get to be servicing this because it's working. It has a lot of shorter counts. It's just like manual process majorly. So now we have the lens. Now this aperture now, I want to explain this in a simple way. This aperture refers to how much light, how you can open this to allow light, this light that we see, to pass through. You know this is a glass, you can see. But this glass has gates. What did I say? This glass has what? This lens is a glass, right? That sends image to the camera. But the glass has gates. So for you to open the eye of the gate, either for it to see more light or to see less light, that is you controlling the aperture. So if you push it up or you push it down, it doesn't affect the picture quality. Instead, what it affects is the focus, the number of people it will focus on. Now, I like using the eye as a basic. Now, open your eye, like, open it the way you're opening it. This is like you have opened your aperture to the fullest. Now, be dimming your eyes slowly. And be focusing on me. Dim your eyes slowly. One thing you will notice is, as you are focusing on me, I'm sharper, but I'm getting blurrier, but everything at the back is blurred. Your focus is just on me. And the more you are closing, the more everything is going blurry. Do you do that exercise at all? Let's go again. Open. Look at me. So now start dimming your eye. Slowly. Slowly, but your focus is on me. Just dim it slowly. So that's what we do with aperture. Your phones now, some of your phones have 2 lenses, 2, 3 lenses, right, at the back of it. When you are using Blackmagic Cam, you see that it will show you the option. Should you use 24mm? Should you use 50mm? That's to tell you you know that for some of you that your phone has 2 lenses, when you want to take video, you see ×1, ×2. When you click ×2, it zooms. That ×2, what the technology has done, it has quickly switched to the second lens, which is 50mm. The typical lens, the typical wide lens that comes with a phone is 12mm. Some phones 16mm. And mm means the distance. Are you guys with me? So aperture now is how you open or close the lens to allow light. Are you guys with me? So when you open it much, I can see a lot of lights coming in. Now, go to your aperture. For those of you on Blackmagic, go to your aperture. For those of you on Blackmagic, go to your aperture. Can you zoom into this? Can we see this? Let me get closer. Your aperture is on what? 77. No, your aperture cannot be on 77. No, 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 not the lens. Let me see. Oh, it's the iris. This is it. Okay, why your own does not have? Maybe it's because it has 3 cameras now. Maybe you've pressed the setting. Let me look at the setting for you. The aperture is iris. Can you see where you have iris there? Yeah, 1.5, 1.7. You can adjust it. That's why I want to look at the setting here. No, it's adjustable. Iris. Yes, it's not clickable there, but it's for your own that is 1.7. Let me look at it. It should be clickable. Let me see. 1.8 is clickable. It should be clickable. Wait, let's switch the lens to 48 mm. So if you want to see it to be vertical video, that's when you do this. I guess Blackmagic wants to make you people pay for that now, because before it used to be accessible. Yeah, the iris, that's the aperture. So on cameras you see aperture, you see iris. It's on, yeah, it's on 1.5. So 1.5, are you guys listening? So 1.5 is for most phones, that's like the largest you can open. Like it will give you depth of field, that's for most phones. So 1.6, you know, different phones, different categories and different lenses on it. So for that, maybe that phone, the one that is 1.5, the phone will most likely be higher than this. What is it 1.5 yours? What phone is yours? Yours. That's right. So, but it has nothing to do, it's just about how you use it. So now, please listen. So now let's go to the camera. I said can you zoom on this? So I want to show you something with the camera iris, or please, is there another battery? I like the fact that most of you are already holding your phone, waiting for your practice already. So, yes, we can have this, if they can see that. So now you can see the aperture here is 5.0. But when I press it and take it down, can you see it's dark? Now I put it on 8.0. Can you see the camera from the screen? Yeah. So when I open it, when I press and open the aperture, it's a bit lighter, but it's still dark because my ISO is on 400. So this is why I said, because I'm sure for a lot of person at this point, you may not really get what I'm saying. This is the mathematical part. But let me go back again. ISO, listen to me. Let's do it this way. ISO is an enemy. Don't push it up. If you want to push it up at all, do not let it exceed 400. Because the more you push it, the more noise you have. Aperture has to do with opening of. So when you put your aperture on this and you still want more light, make sure you open it. You can open or close it depending on the camera. That's increase the number. When you're increasing the number, so when you increase the number of aperture, you can write it down. When you increase the number of aperture, your image gets darker. And your camera focuses on more people, on more persons, or more objects. When you increase the number of aperture or iris, your image gets darker. But also, the number of persons in focus, which will be much more clear. But when you reduce the number of the aperture, your image gets brighter, because that means you are opening the eye, like what I asked you to do, and closing the eye. So you're allowing more light to enter, but it will focus on lesser persons. That's how we achieve. You watch videos and you see that the background is blurred. like cinematic experience. You want to blur your background. What you do is you reduce the aperture to the barest minimum. So on some of you phones, thank you. On some of you phones, you know that when you click from normal video and you change to portrait, what happens? It blurs the background. That's what. So portraits, all these things are just embedded. It's not just showing you the setting. But portrait on your phone is like the lowest of your aperture. That's why it can blur the background. And the same thing is what you can do to camera. So on the camera, you want to blur background. Reduce the number of the aperture down. And for some of these cameras, if you don't know how to operate it, it's fine. Ask someone that knows how to. Just show me where is the aperture. They show you. You know that, oh, you want to bring it down. If you notice, most of all these directors said they don't even know much about cameras. But they know what they want. It's the camera operator that knows much about camera. So just tell me, the aperture, I want it to be low. The ISO, don't let it exceed 400. Then, let's come to the last brother and sister. Shutter. Sorry, I know of all the part I was mentioning, is this part that is looking like you people head want to, right? Sorry. Shutter speed. Now, the simplest definition or the simplest way to introduce shutter speed to you people is, shutter speed is, now, when we take pictures, thank God there's no card in this. When you take picture, you get the click sound. The camera takes a picture, right? How do you think camera takes video? How do you think camera takes video? I don't want to stress you, man. Thank you, man. When you see videos, what do you think videos are? All these professionals here, don't answer us. What do you think videos are? I thought you raised your hand. So he has actually said it. Videos, don't let me break another bubble again or bust another bubble to tell you that videos are not the videos that you expect, what you think they are. Videos are illusion created with multiple images. So when you play a video, you see someone walking, right? Let's say, okay, now let's do this with your phone. Bring out your phone. Let me just explain this. Bring out your phone. Bring out your phone. So you have me, record me for like 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, are you going? Action. Let me wave. 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Cut. For some of you that your phone has slow-mo, go to the slow-mo. I'll do the same. Hope you did the first thing I asked you to do. Did you capture me while waving? Oh, let's go again, please. There's a reason, please bring it out with your phone. There's a reason. I want to use this to explain different types of speeds. Let's go again. So if you are taking the first video, you can delete it. Let's go again. The first video, let's go. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, action. Make sure you're always rolling before action. Number 2. Now, this is the difference between professionals and non-professionals. When you are recording video with your phone, don't turn on your flashlights. You are touching the subject. I told you, stop touching the subject. Turn off your flashlights. I know to a lot of ladies here, it will be dark, and that's why you need your ring lights, your soft lights and all. Because no matter the cinematic setting you do on your phone, once you're on that touch, you have just touched the subject. You have spoiled your setting. The flashlight there is for other things. And as well, they don't expect professionals to be using cameras, phone for professional camera distance. That's actually the real competition. Sony makes camera. They make phone too. So they know what they are doing. But it's now, Samsung also makes camera. They also make, but now, they now understand that they need to merge. And the moment they realized that was when they started now bringing different lenses on phone. Because for camera, you need to put 50 mm, you need to put 35 mm. So now, on your phone, you have 12 mm, you have 50 mm, you have 35 mm, they put the 3 already for you. So what they are selling, if you look at, in the past 5 years, what they have been selling is not technology on phone, they are selling 2 things, space and camera. That's what any brand has been selling. Space and camera. And that is the future of content creation. People are already using phones to make films. to shoot adverts. And that's why I'm showing you all of this secret here. If you work on all these things, you are good to go. We are talking about pricing, we are talking about positioning, everything. So now, let's go. The exercise I want to do. On your normal video, let's go. Make sure you are rolling before you hear action. Anytime. 3, 2, 1, action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can cut. If you have slow-mo on your phone, go to your slow-mo. Slow motion. If you are set, I'm set. If you have slow-mo, go to your slow motion. I'm set. 3, 2, 1. Please, I need you to record this, especially if you have taken the first part, though, it's important. Slow motion now on your phone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. If you have time lapse on your phone, go to time lapse. Time lapse on your phone, go to time lapse. Are you on time lapse? Now let's go. Action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut. Now play these 3 videos. I want to explain shutter speed the best way I can. Time lapse is very what? Slow-mo. What happened? Slow, you could see my frames, right? And the regular video, I was just moving regularly. Now, this is what I want to use to explain shutter speed. Please pay attention. I told you that video is an illusion of like multiple images, pictures running fast, right? What you are actually seeing when I was doing like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What you are seeing is pictures. Pa, pa. Please pay attention, oh. What you are seeing was pictures like this. Pa, 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 pa. What you are seeing is pictures playing repeatedly and giving you that feel of video. But when you now put it on slow-mo, you now see that there is detail. So it's like, instead of pa, 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 normal playing, it's going like slowly. And for time-lapse, it's swifting. So now, that now gives us what we call frame rate per second. I'm sorry, this is the math class of camera. That's what now gives us what we call frame per second, FPS. Like I said, I'm introducing this to you, but you can sit to understand this much more better other times. Now, frame per second means how many frames is in 1 second of timing. For regular, we have 24, max 30 frames per second. Why the normal video will play like this is because it has captured 24 to 30 pictures in 1 second. Slow-mo, if you check your phone setting, for those of you that have slow-mo, you go up, you already see they've written it. Some phones will write 100 FPS, 120 FPS. They are telling you that there are 100 frames in 1 second. That's why it's slow. Some phones have 240 FPS. And when you click on that 240 FPS, you notice that it is slower because it has captured more images. And that's why you can see maybe a drop of water falling. You see the drop. And time-lapse is like, no, it's lower. That's why it's fast. It's like 5 to 10 in 1 second. That's why it's fast and blurry. If you try to pause it, you see that it's blurry because it's taking it very fast. Now, that's the technology behind these things I'm teaching you today. This is high-level filmmaking settings. If you go to any film school, everything I've mentioned today is what you'll be taught. Only that they will now start breaking it. This one that we're using it to do one day. can be one topic for 1 week. But this is everything that has to do with filmmaking, especially camera operations or cinematography. So, what is the right shutter speed? Now, this is the secret and the hook. If you at all don't even get all this mathematical explanation, get this right. If you want to record, please note it. You can write it if you want to record. If you want to record normal conversation, thank God most of you have your black camera, Magic, or so use the same setting also for a professional camera. If you want to record conversations, people talking, normal movement, normal events, you make sure your frame rate is 24 or 25 or at most 30. So your frame rate should be what? 24, 25 or at most what? 30. For normal conversation, 24, 25 or 30. This is for normal conversation. Anything that is normal movement, your FPS should be either what? 24, 25 or 30. Some cameras have 23, you can still do that, but don't go lesser than that. Now, if you want to take slow motion that you know that, okay, you might still use some parts to talk, and maybe while editing, you want to have some slow-mo. That's not like a full slow-mo, like maybe an event that you want to use some parts for slow motion. Now, this 24, 25, 30, pay attention. Oh. If you shoot on this and you're now editing, you now drag it that it should be slow-mo. I don't know if you have seen videos where people are dancing or walking and you look as if it's jacking. That's what happened. Because you did not shoot it for slow motion. You see someone dancing normally a wedding video, but when you are watching it on TV, it looks as if on drag it is, I don't know if it is slow. That's because maybe while the editor is now editing, he now wants to make slow-mo of a dance. But while he was shooting on either 24, 25 or 30. So there's not enough frames to drag. What do you say? Thank you. That is it. You must know what you want to achieve before you start shooting. So if you are filming, for you that you are filming an event, if you are filming events like weddings now, most times I leave the FPS 50, 60. That's 50 frames or 60 frames per second. Because I can still drag it small for slow motion. Because there are some parts in this thing, I can still leave it for normal movement. It's in between normal movement and the real slow motion. Real slow motion starts from 100. Are you with me? So that way I can leave it in between. So that's why some wedding videos, because some parts when they are just dancing in, you might decide that you want to make it slow-mo. So when you make it slow-mo, it becomes smooth. And when you still edit the full video, they're still working normally. They don't drag. Do you understand? What is it? So if you put on slow motion like 100 or 120, if the person is talking, that's when you be low, it will drag. So if you compress the slow motion, it will still be normal because it will give you headache. So that's, if you use real slow motion from 100, that means you don't need the audio. So let's say for weddings now, when are the times I'll do 100 or 120? Those are the times that maybe bride and groom are dressing. Or they are done dressing, they want to pose for the camera. I can do all those ones in slow motion. So by the time you are editing, you see it comes, the agbada drops. But once the normal event has started, that they are talking, put it on normal 50, 60. Simple. Yes, because of it won't marry again. There are even some cameras that once you do that 100, audio will not even enter. There are some cameras that do that. Yes. Your phone, if you put it on slow-mo, try to talk and play it back. Yes, thank you. So you have to avoid those errors. Not just body movement, details. It depends on what you are filming. If you are filming products now, it can be the details of the product. But anything conversation that you know you want to get that talking and normal movement, 24, 25, 30. In proper TV stations, they use 30. They don't there is no setting you want to set in TV station. No. You are working with CNN, you are working with it's 30. They don't want 30. 30 at best. You can do 25, but at best, at most, 30. That's normal. So for live streaming too, the same thing. Because it's normal conversation. You want normal movement. If you go and put live streaming on 50, as pastor is talking, so, do you understand? And sometimes, live streaming is quite technical depending on what cable you are using. We have what we call HDMI, and we have what we call SDI. No, we have SDI, the round one that locks. So, No, not VGA, not VGA. So for live streaming, it's best to use either HDMI. SDI is even the best. Mr. Ayo, SDI or HDMI, any day, which one? SDI cable, live streaming from camera. Can they see, is there SDI cable here? Oh, they did not bring it. So SDI is the best for live streaming. You know why? So I don't know if anybody has noticed the screen. If you notice the screen, either this one or that one, you'll notice that when I talk, there is like 1 to 5 seconds delay. HDMI, that's HDMI work. That's HDMI work. It takes some seconds to transmit, to adapt, to get the images and video before now sending it. If you like, use HDMI wireless, so as long as it's HDMI rather, there will be delay in seconds. But when you use SDI is what we use professionally, even for football matches, SDI. You know, it's SDI big. That's why you still see on big stadium, there's still cables and cameras going everywhere. It's SDI, you lock it, and SDI has lock. So SDI transmits it direct. And please don't make mistake when you are live streaming. Some people make mistake of one thing. They'll use SDI to transmit to the live mixer. They'll now use HDMI to transmit to screen. It will still delay on screen. If you are using SDI, use SDI all through. No. But capture card has slot for SDI. You know you can use capture card now for laptop. They have SDI. So SDI is just the best. Although it's quite pricey, I must be honest about that. So when you are about to film, the frame rate, and if you are filming slow-mo, it will start from what? 100, 120, depending on your camera, 240. The more pictures you have on it, the more detailed you are. So I'm sorry, you people see some music videos and you see the way some guys shake their chain or pour drinks on some adverts and all. That has been shot on high-end slow-mo. That's why you can see the drop going in. You can see someone walk. I don't know if you have seen some fight scene, they'll punch someone and you can see, or wrestling sometimes, you see the sweat. It's on high-end slow-mo. So that's just there, even when shooting film, why shooting action, why shooting anything, you need to know this next shot. And that's why you see films. You wonder, film, how many days is it? How many hours is it? Why are they using 1 week? Why are they using 1 month on set? Because everything is intentional. Sometimes they used to even schedule it. They'll first shoot normal scene, then later they'll shoot slow-mo. So that the camera guy will not go and mix all the settings together. You have done the fight scene. Okay, now, B-roll, hits the person. I take close up, you hit, we have had that. B-roll, touch. So we have, thank you, the wide, medium, close up. So have I been able to break this down for you very well? At least for some of you first timers. So thank you, and we'll go to the practical assignments that you have. A round of applause for yourself. A round of applause for yourself. We've been here for like almost 2 hours. All right, so this is the practical group we'll do now. And I want do you have questions? No, the optimal aperture is what you want to achieve. Like I said, the higher you increase it, the darker your image, and you have more person in focus. So for aperture now, let's say I'm filming, I want to take video of 10 persons walking. Yeah, you have to push it up. Although it will be darker, then that means more light No, don't push ISO beyond 400. Though. Man, I'm telling you, if you push ISO beyond 400, just more lights. That's why we use lights that we can control. So if it's darker, all those lights we use on set, we will increase it. So that's why I said, one, this thing is about your creativity. I can use this light for one purpose. I can use it for three purposes. Just ask me what. So give me an example. What kind of content do you want to shoot? Just give me an example. An interview. If I have this one light, do you remember when I did the light over the head like this and I put it in the middle? That's what I'll do. But if the interview is about, let's say, mystery, maybe people who are talking about a disease, I can leave the interview to be like that, and just this side is bright and I reduce, and this side is dark. It's intentional because it's mystery. I don't need it to be all bright. I don't know if you understand what. So it depends on what you are filming, the theme of what you are talking about. Lights cannot be too much, because as an artist you use lights. It's how you use the lights. Because I have one light here doesn't mean I should push it to the highest. In my real sense, maybe with the camera, maybe this is the optimal that I need, safe. Not this. But because this one light here, I don't even need it to the fullest. I still need another support light here, and I still don't need it to the fullest. If I have another light, I'll put it at the top of my head. But I don't need it. But all of that will be balancing my face and shaping my face. Light is not too much, but are you using it right? That's why I showed, the main light, the backlight. You see some people, they'll put backlight, maybe they are doing all this home content, they'll use it as colored lights to beautify their back. Light is not too much. You see some people, they use two different types of colored lights at the back. But it depends on what you are talking about. If you're talking about something serious, you don't need too much colored light. For live streaming, the standard position of lights is what I talked about initially, which is 3-point lighting. So let's say we want to live stream here, and let's say, I'm sorry, I'm not anointed to climb the pulpit. Let's say I'm on the pulpit. Are you listening? Yeah, and I mentioned it before. I expect you to have, what's it called? Trust. Light trusts. That's those iron. To come down. It can be at midway. And you have lights that will flood. Lights that will come to the side. Light that will fill this shadow. Just like what I did that practical with that girl. Light that will fill this side. And another set of lights from the back. It can be at the edge. That will separate the pastor or the preacher from the background. Then those lights, because they are not the random lights, those floodlights, they are not the pattern lights, and all, they have their control. You have someone controlling it. He knows when to dim it. He knows when to bring the head down. Some of you go to parties. You see some of these parties, these lights used there, they can tilt their head down. They can tilt their head up. You can adjust. They use that to adjust depending on where the person is walking, where the person comes to, and all of that. So these are not controlled lights. This one are switch lights. So this is not, you can use it based on what you have now. But professionally, they are not controlled lights. Not this light. It's the pattern, the controlled lights, not this exact one, for this stage. This light will not have effect on this, because this place is very broad. It's not this kind of light. Do you know those trusts? Don't worry, I can show you a picture. I'll show you those pictures. It's trust. If you go to events, you see even decorators, they use it, all this truss light, but they stand it from the ground. But there's a way you can hook it. You even have iron distance, so it's easier for you to hook it. And you have the control. The control can be at the control center. Someone controls it. You have it in a lot of parties. Do you have any question, other question? The 50-60. So like you now, that's mid in between. If you're shooting events, I would advise you to be between 50-60, or your FPS all through. Because there are some, No, I said for her, I said because there are some, and that's where I'm going to. Because there are some places that you might want to make a slow-mo. As I said, in between for her. No, it will not affect this thing. But the thing there is, why I advise most people to be between that is most times people lose their minds while shooting, especially events. It's not like film. It's film that we put our mind. Before we start the scene, we already know this scene they are talking, this scene they're about to get closer, or maybe they are eating or they are dancing. Let it be on slow mo. But for events, you don't know what's coming next, so you don't have time to start changing camera setting. Just leave it in between 50, 60. JJ. Do we have any other question? And let me say the practical. So the practical, Mr. Ayo. Mr. Ayo, we used to have the editing this thing. I know there will be break, but there's practical session. I want to know. Eh? No, I want to see what they shoot though. I also want to see what they shoot before I leave.
Yes.
Okay. So you are coming up next, Abby. Okay, after the lunch, Abby. So I'll give them the practical now. So, all right. So the practical, you have question? Yeah. Cameras selection. Okay, please listen. Oh. She said, can we talk about camera selection? So the camera selection, like how?
You said the person is to rent camera when you're starting out.
Yes.
So when you want to rent the camera, what do you look out for? Like
So-
what brand do you look ahead? and
So
stuff
for
like
brand,
that? And
this
then
is the
features.
okay, the features. Please listen or pay attention. The features rely solely on the kind of videos you want to shoot. For brand, this is the honest thing I tell everybody. Me, I have Canon cameras. But most times, for the past few years now, when I go out to do jobs, I'd rather choose a Sony. Sometimes I do Lumix, but I still use my Canon camera sometimes. So cameras, as regards brand, it's not like this brand is better or this brand. What you should look out for is the dynamic range, the megapixel. Thank you, sir. You can see in the spirit. Thank you, sir. So what you should look out for is the megapixel, just like your phones. Hope you know your phones, they have megapixel. And the megapixel that's like how clear, crystal clear the camera lenses are, like the numbers. So that's the same thing. No, that's like 42 megapixel MP. On phones, you see 12 megapixel. So the higher the megapixel, the sharper your lens quality is. But the real truth there is, away from camera, there are a lot of Chinese phones out there. Some will promise you, I don't want to mention brand, 100 megapixel. And you still put it beside some iPhone or Samsung that is 24 megapixel, and that Samsung is still sharper than that. That's because of this Chinese feature. So look at, for camera brand, look at the megapixel. Two, look at for the dynamic range. Now, how do you determine dynamic range? Dynamic range is how, and that's what Sony, it's not like Canon does not have. Canon has it, but on the cameras that Canon has, it is much more expensive than Sony. That's why most people will go for Sony or Lumix. Because for the Canon that has that feature, is like ×2 of the price that you used to buy Sony. That's like Canon R6, R5, C70, C300. So dynamic range is when you put a camera, how do you determine that? On anybody, it is how the skin tone comes out. So the regular Sony, when you put it on someone, you still see their skin still looking like their skin. But Canon, it will look as if the color is affecting it. Only if you can edit it, you can tweak it and all of that. So look for the megapixel, look for the dynamic range. And now, if you want to go into commercials, music video and all, look for cameras that can do slow-mo. Slow-mo. That's if you want to do commercials, music videos and all. But if majorly what you want to be doing is film, talking conversation, interviews, pastors content, corporate content, all those stuff, you are not concerned about cameras that has slow-mo. Because the more of all these three features in one camera, the much more expensive the camera will be. Now, the last category of cameras is if you are using your camera majorly for live streaming, I would advise you don't really have business with all these ones. Just go for majorly all those ones that have push zoom, that you can use their button to zoom. Because for this one, when you are live streaming, if you want to zoom or anything, you have to use the lens, and it jacks. It's not professional. Yeah, those push zoom, like all these cameras push zoom, like they have button to zoom. They are mostly broadcast camera. Yeah. What you have, yeah, they are the two, so that's fine. But as long as there's push zoom, it makes it easier for you to. That's one. Two, for live streaming, you should look out for cameras that have SDI. SDI input, that SDI I told you, that SDI or HDMI. No, this one does not have SDI. You know how cameras have SDI. Even the HDMI will be small one, small to be converted. So those are the things to look out for live streaming. What is it? No, the dynamic range for all those ones, you see it too, the skin tone, mostly if you get a Sony, Panasonic. So all those dynamic range, they write it on the display, but minus that, you have to bring out the camera, put it on someone, see. That, like I said, the primary camera is your eye. When you see something on, when you put camera on someone's skin, are you seeing the real skin? When you see professional Hollywood films, what makes you think that this thing is clean? It's because of the skin you are seeing. It looks real. Do you understand? And the same thing too is the same with iPhone too. The higher the iPhone, most of all these iPhones, iPhone 14, 17, you see the skin tone. Although there are some lower iPhones that still has good skin tone. Well, most people don't know about it. Like iPhone 8 XR, they have good skin tone. Only that their cameras are not like zoom like they are, but they have good skin this thing too. So now to the practical. I want to divide this into, but we'll balance it according to age, because I can see teenagers here and all. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Buy that one. What's like the headquarter is using now? Head down. Yeah, like that one. For live, you also be doing live streaming. So you can buy like that one. Yeah, so. Since you also be doing live streaming, so you can get like that one too. But if you know you want to use it majorly for just short content that you edit later, you can get something like this. But if you'll be live streaming most of the time, get that. Yes, sure. As long as you apply these settings. I don't know the correct price. You see it online. No, I don't sell cameras. You see it online. Huh? For beginners, the best phone I would recommend, any phone that can download Blackmagic camera. That's all. If your phone, if you try to download Blackmagic camera and can download that, any phone that can download Blackmagic camera, because that's, once you start shooting and you apply these things, I'm being honest with you, and you people, you have more time, sit down with YouTube, how to use Blackmagic camera to take better quality videos, you will see more videos. People will be asking you, are you sure you're sure with phone? So, the practical now. So I want to split the class into 4 groups. Don't leave, oh, you're one of the group, oh. You're in one of the group, please. So yourself, can I move person? Toby, can you go there? I'm moving according to the age, this thing. They can have their, Mr. Ayo, they can have their lunch now. I'm just splitting them for groups. So, Toby, you can be with her. You can go there. You can go there now. I want to split the, or wait, let me just do it this way. Don't worry, sit. Toby, go back to your seat. I feel this will work. Those on this line like this line like this, you are group 1. These 2 lines, you are group 2. Nobody should leave their seat, oh. I know. Group 2. So, Ma, come to this side, because this side is not balanced. Come to this side, yes. Sir, you are not in the training, you are our boss. You two are not in the training, you are our boss. So, I want this side to be balanced. Where are you? You are here, sir. You are seated here. Yeah. I'm looking at it. We need a female here. You have 2 females there. There's no female. Okay. There's, I've forgotten her name. Deborah. Oh, Rebecca. So this is group 3. Group 1, group 2, group 3, then this is group 4. So what you have to do, what you have to do is simple. pick one of these two contents. Either interview slash testimonial, they are the same. That's interview slash testimonial. Or you pick a dialogue. Dialogue, two persons talking, and you film it. It should not exceed 2 minutes. And you apply the types of shots and all of that. Now, this is the condition. You have to shoot landscape, because it's when you shoot landscape well, that's when you can shoot portrait well. For this purpose, shoot landscape. Now, the condition is that ensure you shoot with a phone that is Blackmagic enabled. Why I want to ensure that is because that means you can, if you can handle Blackmagic enabled, I can see the setting from even the raw clips. That means you can handle the camera. So that's the condition. So after his own class, after the launch, I'll get to see what you do together. Group 3, none of their phone has. So if there's any group here, do you have 2 phones that has? I'm sure they might do it in batch. So please learn group 3 at any point. What do you say? Okay, I said the groups. You have to do a practical. Either interview or testimonial. That's like just someone talking, testimonial. You have to apply the lighting. You have to apply types of shots. You have to apply this and make sure you use the Blackmagic camera on the phone to shoot it. I want to see it. Make sure it does not exceed 2 minutes. 2 minutes, whatever you are shooting. Yeah. That's for the lens that is on top of it. Yeah. It depends on how many lenses your phone has. If you use Blackmagic, it will show you how many your phone is. So your own phone now, wait, no, 13. Your phone has 3 cameras. Yes, that's the highest your phone has.
So I can only be 77 meters.
Yes, that's what your phone has.
What's like a 77 meters?
It's like measuring, 7 from your camera point.
13 is like from
13 starts like from here. So what that means is that from your camera to 13, it will start seeing from 13 meters. From 77, like this 13 now, it will not see it. It will start seeing from, if that guy's head is 77, it will start seeing from 77 upward. Yes, you can tweak it. That's cheating. You can go back. Yes, 13 is even closer because there is a wider angle. It's closer. If it's 100 now, that means maybe it's from that guy's head that you start seeing. If it's 200, it might be from that pulpit. You might not even see anything here. Yeah, this is 7, and that's this. Now, look at, let me click 7, let me click 26. You see it came back. Let me click 13. You see it's wider. Can you see? Yes, wider. Yeah. What is it? No, Blackmagic is still the free and as complete. There are other alternate apps, but they'll be telling you to pay money for this, pay money for that. Yeah? Yeah, if you can edit, if your group, if you can edit, put it together. After the break, after your lunch, I would love to see it. But if you can't edit too, fine. I just want to see what you can do. But if your group can edit, let's see. If you have an editor, but if you don't have an editor, fine. I just want to see what you've done. Please, you can have your lunch now.
What do you mean the quality will be lesser?
No. The meter has nothing to do with the quality. It gets from a group that has Blackmagic now. This is group 3, Abby. Group 3. First thing first is go together, meet everybody in your group. Discuss on your idea before you now worry about phone and what to do. Yeah.
And when I picked, I'm seeing the camera.
And that means you only have one lens. You have to. Okay, so your own lens, what your lens does is you have two, but maybe it's more than 2 embedded, so it allows you to move. But I wouldn't advise you to move much. No, the grain is also much. Look at your ISO. 5,000. I said ISO should not be more than 400.
If I put it there, once I thought it, it's automatic.
Oh, so you have to change it from auto. Yes, please.
Can we borrow?
Huh? No, you can't borrow. That's cheat. Me, I have other advanced settings there too. Eh? No, no, it was asking for my phone. I say I have some advanced setting and cheats there, so they can't use my phone. I have some filters already placed and all.
Yeah, I think that is that the speaker.
No, no, that's not it. I'm looking for the auto. It's on auto.
Sorry. Hello, please, can we all come here? Please, can we all come
It's
over?
record on. It's record.
Hello. 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 Please, can we move closer, please?
Sorry, your attention is needed. Can move closer. Please, where's the response? Four groups.
How many are you in each group?
I did not count.
So please, we need to have like an equal numbers for each group, and I don't want two gurus. I mean, like two professions or two professional or three professional in a group. Please, if you know
Well
that
done, man. Well done,
I'm
sir.
a professional in anything
Hope you
I'm
tried a
doing,
bit, sir.
and you have a friend
Let me
that you
turn
know
off
that
my
he or
mic.
she is also a professional, either in anything, please, both of you can be in the same group. We need to share it so that it won't be a partial. It's only just only one group that has all the gurus. So please let's have numbers. Please let's have numbers. And here I'm seeing two kids here. I'm not sure it's advisable. Please, hello, can you come and join them here? Join this group. No worry. Bro, please join this group. Hello. One, two, three. Come. Come. I've given someone else now. I've given someone else. Yeah, please come. Join this group. Bro, you even know your partner. Why? Okay. Don't worry. Join them. Bro. Hello. Join them over there. No, I'm balancing the gender. Don't worry. Just go with what you've been taught. Okay? So even though if you feel, see, my mentor always tell me something that if you want to fail, not fail where you can be corrected. Let people laugh at you in house. Okay? Than disgracing your. Thank you. Come and sit. How many are you guys here?
phone going to
Your phone. No, calm down first. No, calm down. Where's your phone? Take your phone now. Take your phone now. Come and see me. Take your. Oga, I'm splitting you guys. Talking to you. These three of you. Just follow like that. I'm splitting three of you. No, you stay here. Two of you come. I'm serious.